guys? Hey, Soapies. Welcome in. Make sure y'all hit that like button. If you're not subscribed, I know a lot of newbies have came over either to already subscribe from the videos. So welcome, welcome, welcome. Or if you had just been watching the content, feel free to subscribe. Like Deborah says in the comment section, hey family, remember to hit the like button. It's free. So it's definitely for you and me. Oh,
Oh, I love that.
that's cute. Thank you, Deb. Thank you, thank you, thank you. All right, so we're going to do the recap for The Young and the Restless, The Bold and the Beautiful, Beyond the Gates for the week of July 27th through July 31st. We are now in month 8 of the year. Time is flying, and I was just thinking about that. We're getting ready to head in the fall. And it's time to start getting some money because here come Christmas and Thanksgiving. And in my case, I got 3 birthdays at the end of the year.
Oh,
So,
really?
oh God, yeah. So my hubby is November 18th. My oldest is November 30th, and my son is October 13th, and that don't
Oh,
include
wow.
Christmas.
Dang.
So
My
I get the first
goodness.
half of the year with Mother's Day and my birthday all to myself, and then I get slammed at the end of the year.
I understand the feeling because my son's birthday is December 2nd, and then a
Mm,
couple weeks after is Christmas. So I'm trying to figure
exactly.
out how I want to do that.
Exactly. Exactly. So yeah, this year is flying by. I can't believe we got one more, especially if you're living in the Midwest. I know for you, Bree, you tend to get summer a larger percentage of the year. Um,
Yeah.
but here, this has probably got 1.5 more months, about another 6 weeks, and we'll be headed into mid to late September, and then that's when things start to get chilly all over again. So it's almost like and like Keish was saying a couple months back, I think we got all the way to the end of May and it was still chilly outside. So we barely had this summer went by quick.
Oh, I mean, it's been weird weather just throughout.
I know, right?
I think
Yeah.
we might have had one full month of summer weather in July
Yep.
because it was tripping in June.
Yeah. I mean, it stayed colder longer this year, or chillier. I'll just say chillier. It stayed chillier longer this year than usual. Because sometimes we'll get warm, like, what was that, last year? We were in the 70s and 80s in April here. And then this year was just weird. I don't know. It's crazy. I just hope we don't have another bad winter with all the snow every other 2 days and stuff like this past winter. So,
Do you guys travel to like warmer states in the winter?
no, I haven't in a while.
Do we do? Would you say that again,
Well, I
please?
know Keish travel a lot. So,
Yeah.
Oh,
You
yeah.
never catch her. She
yeah, she
gone. I mean,
always going somewhere.
across the globe.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it's usually, because of work, I'm only ever gone for like a week, maybe two at the most when I do go somewhere in the winter. So I need to get to a point where I can like leave during the winter and stay gone until it gets warm again.
Yeah, I heard that, girl. Tell me about it. Tell me about it. All right. So, let me see. We're what you about to say something, Bree?
Gail Lewis asked Keith how was her birthday.
Oh yeah, cause the last time we was live, her birthday was the weekend before.
Oh,
Mm-hmm.
thank you for asking. My birthday was nice. I had dinner with my family. We went to a Japanese steakhouse, a hibachi place, and
Mhm.
my parents and my sisters and two of my nieces were there. So my and a
Okay.
nephew. It was a Tuesday, so I couldn't do too much, but
Yeah, that's right.
that was
Yeah.
enough.
Yeah, we had went live that on that Monday the 20th, and then that's when
Yeah.
Yeah.
we was talking about your birthday. So, yep,
Time
I
flies.
know,
Goodness.
right?
Hmm.
2 weeks then already passed. It's just crazy. All right. So, let's see. We have a few segments at the end of Flip the Script. Who's taken several seats? Star of the Week, Pickle of the Week, Simple Olympics, and the Audacity Award. So a lot of stuff going on. If you are new to this channel, and make yourself known in the chat. Say hello. Let me know who the new faces are. If you're watching, even if it's on the replay, just drop down in the comments and say, hey, I'm a new subscriber. So I'll, send you a little heart or say welcome, because I watch my analytics, and it's a lot of folks enjoying the channel. So I want to make sure, you guys get to enjoy not only the recorded content, but also you can sit and have a conversation, put your feet up, get some snacks, and let myself, Keish, and Bree have the soap conversation with you guys. So, all right.
Yeah.
All right. Y'all ready?
Yes. See a lot of new names. Hi, Aquita on Quebec.
Yeah,
Hi.
Keita's been here. Keita been here for a while.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yep.
Welcome, guys. A lot of usual suspect. We have over 50 people already. So that's
Yeah.
quick.
We got Miss V Young, Jacqueline, McCullough, Cynthia Chain, Melinda Pierce, our girl Miss Jenna Corsentino, Melissa
Mm-hmm.
Spencer, Deborah Ferguson. Who else? Make sure, because I see a lot of repeat
Cheryl
comments.
Hines,
Cheryl
Aisha
Hines.
Jackson,
Mm-hmm.
Miss Spence, Melissa Spencer.
Yeah, I am Leah Unfiltered. I know she's a newbie,
Mm-hmm.
fairly recent. So welcome back. And I think, Pauline Daly. Hi, Pauline. She's
Hi.
welcome, welcome, welcome. So everybody, get relaxed. We got some stuff to talk about. I know Bold has been, ooh, that Electra girl. Good Lord. She's been
It's
driving everybody crazy.
she needs a therapist at this point.
She needs
I
something.
wish I had that type of delusion to just go about my life. Like every episode, this girl is pouting, she's crying. She thinks everything is always against her, and she refuses to acknowledge her own actions.
And
Yeah.
is she not just as bad as what everybody is saying Will is? Because this
Yep.
is like the fourth time that she's hit somebody. And not hit
Yes.
somebody in defense, but hit somebody because she was mad about something they said
Yep.
or did.
Yep. We
She's no
gonna
different
talk
from her
about it.
family.
Yep. 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 We are going to talk about it. Most definitely. All right. So we're gonna start with the Young and the Restless for last week. We had the whole thing with Phyllis and Matt Clark. They share a bed. Mariah came back. She came back in today's episode, but because it's Monday, we usually tap into what we seen earlier that day. That transaction between Sally and Chelsea and Adam. Well, if you watch tomorrow's episode, this is about to blow up in their faces. And Nikki got her vision back. Look like we're losing two characters. The Noah character, it seems, allegedly, but I think they did announce that on social media. The Noah character and the what's that girl name?
Sienna.
Sienna character. Yep. So pretty interesting stuff. Where you want to start, Bree?
Um,
Hey, Jasmine.
hey Jazz. We can get Nikki and Victor out the way.
Okay.
This woman crawled right back to this man.
Yep.
This is why I always say, even with the stuff with not Nicole, with Danny and Bill, some people just like the toxicity. Some people can't help themselves. And after a certain amount of years, this is all she knows. She missed her lifestyle. She missed him paying for everything. She missed the black card. She missed the diamond, and she missed turning a blind eye. She don't like being asked to hold Victor accountable because she don't know what to do.
Mm-mm.
She's like, look, Jack's not going to stop being my friend, but I will never be okay with what you did to him. He's like, and then she brought up the stuff with the hotel rooms and said, like, look, I'll forgive you for what you put Jack through if you can forgive what you think had happened in the hotel room. So I can't even understand the comparison because Victor hired a known psychotic criminal to essay him, whereas Jack saved your life.
Yep.
And Victor has an assumption that you guys were just getting busy, just high and getting busy all of a sudden. And this happened, 2 years ago?
Yeah. 2024.
So I'm like, so you are perfectly fine forgiving him for all this stuff that happened to your friend that you want to still keep in your life. And Jack didn't do not one thing to Victor to warrant all of like Victor going after the company, after the family, everything. That's crazy.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, that whole thing is just a hot mess. And I'm actually glad that they're wrapping that whole thing up. We saw in, I think it was today's episode when they got, either Friday or today, where, like you said, that whole conversation that they had, but she was pretty much like, you're going to have to accept my friendship. And then Victor says, well, my love for you is stronger than the hatred for Jack. Okay, well, didn't you know that 2 years ago?
He knew this for decades. He didn't
Exactly.
care.
That's why you married her 57,000 times. I mean, we went through 2 years of Victor terrorizing everybody in Genoa City. And a lot of that is predicated on the fact of what happened in that hotel room when he agreed to Jack being her sponsor. You agreed to that.
Yeah.
Can we also say that maybe Jack is a little bit goofy for continuing to entertain her as his
Absolutely.
friend, knowing how ridiculous her husband is? And not only that, but she don't even like your wife.
Right.
So
vice versa.
Why is this friendship so important to hold on to?
That's the part that gets me. And Diane and even Kyle's like looking at Jack crazy. He's like, having any relationship with Nikki is causing a lot of issues. I think Diane was the main one who said that. Like, if you guys were never friends, Victor would have no reason to go after Jabot or the Abbotts. And I think that's true.
Yep.
Like, Victor can't help who has children with one another, but Victor's sole issue is Jack and Nikki. He is the most insecure, pettiest man in soaps. And I'm like, Nikki knows that her friendship with Jack gets on Victor's nerves. And she still just doesn't care.
Nope. And I mean, it came to the point where even post the whole, when she started to get better and her sobriety kind of stabilized and everything, they were still just being overly intrusive in each other's lives with the opposite spouses. And it's just like, okay, Diane is like putting her feelings on the back burner because there's a part of her that really can't stand this, but the other part is, well, she is a recovering addict, so I need to give her some grace. And it's like, no, that time is up. And Jack,
like,
go ahead, I'm sorry.
I say, it's like, what more can Victor do to convince you that, leaving him for good might be the best thing? She don't care. He gives her all the trinkets, all the money in the world, as long as she just shuts up and just turns a blind eye. And even Kyle points it out about the whole family to Victoria. They're all the same way. That's why they can't get from underneath Victor's thumb.
I agree. I mean, it was a lot to watch. I mean, it was so many different things because then he started trying to terrorize the relationship between Claire and Kyle for a while, and it just was one thing after the other over the past 2.5 years, and now we get to Well, my love for you is stronger than my hatred for Jack. Okay, we could have came to that conclusion 2 years ago.
I was like, my baby, my baby, my baby. I'm like, how long is this about to last?
Right.
Because the other side to this is Kyle and Victoria, because they had like a small little conversation.
Mm-hmm.
Victoria is like, oh my God, can our families just move along and move past the pettiness? The pettiness is your daddy.
Mm-hmm.
I think
Yep.
they would not have any issues if it wasn't for Victor. And even Victor proves Kyle's point, even in tomorrow's episode. He's just poking at anybody who's an Abbott
Mm-hmm.
for no reason. You would think having his company back, he got his wife back, all these other different things back, but he still finds a way to poke. And that's why I don't blame Kyle for being like, look, I'm going to always be on guard when it comes to Victor. He's done too much. And everybody just wants him to have a free pass. And someone has to hold him accountable. It's not going to be his family, and that's true.
Yeah, and she sit up there talking about none of us actually enjoyed any of this that has been happening. You know, our family's been through so much this past year. She was the main one sitting up there with the kidnapping, the fake kidnapping of Lily,
Mm-hmm.
and the situation with Jack talking about, well, whatever we need to do. I wanted to find
Exactly.
that video so bad because I was going to clip that up with her in that conversation with Kyle and then throw in, as a rewind where we go back where she says, well, whatever it takes to get the company back.
Do you know what date that was?
I don't, and I can see it when I in my vision. I was like, I know I saw it. I just need to go
Right.
back, and it was it was during that time between the kidnapping that Lily was faking, and also she was right there with Victor trying to get this company back, even with the situation with Jack. And I think what it was with Jack being in the situation, they were trying to use Diane and Kyle to get to Billy to give back
Yes.
Chancellor or yeah,
That
no,
was
Newman.
sweeps
That was sweeps of what, May?
of February.
Okay. So they
Because remember, May sweeps, they went over to Beyond the Gates.
oh, that's right. You're right. You're right. You're right. So then that was February then because I remember that and they were trying to maneuver through Kyle and Diane. That was what you were right cuz that led all the way up until like April with the SA stuff.
Yes.
And
And
mhm.
that's the part with Victoria that I don't understand. She's just like her daddy. She
Mhm.
victim shamed Jack. Kyle was like, look, your dad brought out Patty Williams.
Mhm.
You had him kidnapped, put on a boat against his will, and then he was drugged and she essayed him. And then
Mhm.
she had the nerve to say, like, well, how do we know that that really happened? How
Her
can you
and
really blame
Claire.
it on my family?
Yeah, her and
Her
Claire
and
was
Claire.
saying that. Yep.
And the nerve of her to be like, oh, well, let's just move past the pettiness and, you have your family, we have our family. Let's just move on and move forward. Nobody can do that because, once again, your daddy's the most pettiest man in daytime soap history.
Mhm.
So until he sits down and shuts up every once in a while, I don't blame Kyle and the Abbotts and anyone else for being on guard with him
Mhm.
because he's done too much. That's why I can never like the Newman family. Me personally, they're just horrible people.
Mhm. Yep. I don't know. I mean, she was like, "Well, what are you gonna do?" And I'm like, "Do you actually think if no if Kyle had a plan that he would actually tell you,
Right.
girl?"
Like, girl, you just feel like you're entitled to everything. No. You got
Mhm.
your stuff back. Shouldn't you be worrying about running Newman Enterprises?
Exactly.
Shouldn't that be the most important thing? Why are you worried about how he's going to get your daddy back? Your daddy has made himself an enemy to a lot of people. It's not just Kyle.
Right. Yep. I agree.
So It's like anyone can come out of the woodwork and go after your family, like they've done for years, because Victor can't help himself.
Yeah, that is true. That is true. Also, what was going on with Nikki? I mean, and obviously we knew that this will put them back together was her vision. So it was thrown in as part of July sweeps. And of course, she got her vision back, and that made him feel a lot better about her and tapped into his emotional love for her, which ultimately brought them back together. It was just too predictable.
Yeah, they just did it quicker than I thought.
Yeah,
To be
exactly.
honest.
And they probably did it because of the wrap up. You know, we know that Josh is on his way out and the two other writers are on their way in. So,
Mhm.
yeah, they're probably just cleaning up a lot of loose ends and say, okay, put Victor and Nikki back together. We need to fix this situation because and I think I said this in, did you guys, because I don't know if you all responded or whatever, but do you think they're also cleaning up the age gap dating? I mean, dating that. Yeah, they're dating. They're not married. So, because
Um,
obviously
You're
it
talking about Noah and Sienna?
yeah, because I mean, obviously on Beyond the Gates, we got two couples that's like that. Bill and Haley, which we don't know how long that's gonna last, and Andre and Danny, and we don't know how long that's gonna last because they're both secrets hiding in both those relationships. But it's still
um,
withstanding, and it's been going on for a while. But I don't know about the whole Sienna and Noah situation as being something that people were really interested in on the Y&R side. Plus the history of the actor and the actress coming from the other show being mother and
mother
son.
and son.
Mhm.
I,
I don't think it had anything to do with the age gap thing because we've seen that storyline played out time and time again.
Mhm.
I Where Noah is concerned specifically, they can never seem to keep him on
Nope.
the show for very long. Like
Mhm.
he'll come
no.
back for maybe a year or two, and then he'll leave again, and come back and he'll leave. Kind of like Thomas on Bold.
Mhm.
I think this
Yes.
last run of Thomas was may has well. I take that back. I think Adam Gregory was on for longer than 5 years, but I I feel like they do this with Thomas where he's been recast so many times. They bring him on and they just throw whatever story at him. They don't really give him good writing, and then they write him off for some stupid reason.
Mhm.
So I don't know if it's somebody uh, in the writing room or the producers or who it is that maybe they just don't like the character of Noah, but there's literally no reason to write him off. Even if it was them trying to clean up the age gap thing, like just break them up. Like,
That's
what do
what
you?
I
Why
was
are we writing
thinking.
Noah off again?
Well, I mean, I'm wondering what it look like they bringing Mariah back. Because normally when you see somebody get ready to leave, it's because somebody got a new contract. I mean, that's just my opinion. I don't know if that's actual factual. But it just
Mm-hmm.
seems on the outside looking in that, okay, we moving some pieces around in regards to characters.
Yeah. Here's a
Mariah's coming back, which is probably going to tie in even further to Devon's issues, and we're keeping Roger Horwith. It looks like he's going to be here for a minute. So,
you know
Yes.
what you know what annoys me about this though is that it's almost as if they use this Matt storyline
hmm
or they use Noah to bring this Matt storyline back, which the two didn't even need to be connected. And they're going to keep Matt, but they're writing off Noah, who is a legacy character. Like, this character should be in line to be leading the show in the next however many years. He's a Newman man. He's third generation Newman.
hmm
Yeah.
There's you can't. I don't buy it at all that they just don't have anything to write for him. It's that
hmm
they don't want to write for him, and I don't understand why that is.
I
hmm
think
Like, no
Josh.
shade to Mariah, but sorry, Noah is a little bit of a more important character. Sorry, Brie.
I I agree with that. I think this is also shows like the negligence of Josh Griffin and his character development. That's the same note I can say about Brad Bell too. There should be some sort of progression. We went through I don't know how many Noahs at this
Right.
point. Like that's crazy. It hasn't even been a year yet.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't think they really had a direction for Noah and Sienna. And I Am Leah Unfiltered said Sienna and Noah produced a yuck factor to the fans who know them from days as mother and son. I think that was a huge thing because there's people who watch ABC and CBS soaps.
Mm-hmm.
So it's hard to kind of differentiate.
Yeah.
Do I think they're going to get rid of the age gap thing? No, because as you guys notice, we're getting more and more scenes of Victoria and Kyle.
I cannot get into that one. I don't know. And yeah, and then remember they got Danny coming back to work as a manager at the club. So when Noah is out, then that's also another character that's going to be more on screen now, which is Danny Romalotti.
He had more of a job than his son.
Yep.
Danny, he know how to keep a job. Get a job, keep a job.
You know what? Speaking, let's talk about your boy Daniel.
Because why did he take over the club? That would have been
because
perfect.
He's lazy and then what I'm about to say, I'm gonna repeat what Lucy said because he said what Lucy said, that he was boring and lame. So
and broke.
Anyway, Daniel had a conversation with his mother, and you would think with everything that has happened, she even brought up the fact that she saved Nick's life and that Victor even gave her props for being a formidable opponent and even gave her a company to rebuild. It was still not good enough for that knucklehead.
You know what? I wouldn't even care what would be good enough. I would be like, well, Daniel, how are you paying your bills? What are you doing with your life? Did you shift from one end of the couch to the next? Was that your only motivation in life going forward?
Mm-mm.
You ain't got no Tessa. You ain't got no woman. Like, what are you doing with yourself? Or are you looking at me and judging me? Mm-hmm. I got a job. What do you have? You got a child still.
I'm telling you, he living off of Heather's life insurance.
Oh my God. She said Heather's life insurance.
The life insurance. He's living off of his daddy. This man will forever refuse to get a job anywhere.
Yeah, I couldn't believe that he was still butthurt about all of this. He was so mad that his mom got a hold to that company and that she needed to give it back to the Newmans. Not only did she get a company back, she helped bring Nick's life back. And then Victor's grateful and said, hey, I got to give you your props because you gave me a run for my money. And then, by the way, you know what? Here's a company. Take it. Do what you want with it. Here's my thanks. And this man's, what are you mad at? What's the problem?
Victor gave you a company? Did you really feel you deserve it?
And he was like, well, I'm not feeling that transactional. Dude, go find a job and you can have as many transactions as possible.
Speaking of transactions, how is he affording his transactions? I mean, he go from restaurant to restaurant. How is he putting gas in his car? How is he taking care of his daughter? Is back to school? Like, he's worried about the wrong things in life.
I don't.
The most we've seen him do is change his shirt. So he's not in flannels anymore. I don't know what type of shirt he had on. It was something more than the usual.
Yeah. So,
but
yeah. So Gail, hold on one second, Gail. Yeah, Phyllis told him at the bar. Wait. She's talking about whether or not Daniel knows about Phyllis sleeping with Matt.
Not yet. But I'm assuming that's going to be coming.
Yeah, go ahead and finish your statement, Bree. I'm sorry about that.
No, you're good. It's just more the same. I get so sick and tired of Daniel basically being a Debbie Downer. I mean, the situation that happened with Newman had nothing to do with him at all. Victor even praised Phyllis, what she said, and also gave her a company, but that means nothing. He is just terrified because once his mom gets that company set up to where she wants, she's gonna be like, oh, you can work in this division and doing this and that. And he's just not trying to hear about anything regarding a job or a career or anything.
Girl,
He could do something. He could be folding clothes. He could be babysitting. He could have a lemonade stand. Anything, something.
yeah, I don't understand the writing behind that. Why you're not even giving us a reason in dialogue on why this character won't let it go with his mom. Everybody else has let it go at this point, even though there's still distance between them, but the main person, Victor Newman, is like, you know what? Thank you. Here you go. Man, you gave me a run for my money. See you later. And Daniel is still, what are you mad? I wish he would just formulate and say, I'm mad because you took us through. I'm just making up something. I'm
Mm-hmm.
upset because we had to go through all of this and you could have gave that company back ten months ago. Say something. You just walk away
Right.
mad.
And for no reason. He's not part of a Newman nothing. I can probably see if this was Summer, that
Right.
would make a little bit more sense.
Exactly.
Daniel is only Newman adjacent because of his sister, and that's it.
Yep.
That's it. That's all. So if he wants to put the cape on for the Newmans, why don't he go ask them for a job or an opportunity?
Bree, do you think that he's mad? Maybe he was hoping that Phyllis would get punished really badly for this. And when it didn't happen, there's a disappointment. He
Well,
was
then
hoping
he
that
should
his
be mad
mom
at
really go down for this.
Victor.
Yeah,
But he's never going to step to Victor.
of
So then
course
what's the
not.
problem?
Mm-hmm.
Like everybody that moved on to move forward. Phyllis lost that company about a little over a month ago. Other stuff has happened, and yet he's still going from bar to bar, restaurant to restaurant, and we're so perplexed on how he's able to afford those meals.
Right. Go figure, right?
Yeah, like get over yourself, get a life. This is why his daughter is like, look, I'm tired of being around him too. Like,
She should.
I'm tired of seeing him in the house.
I'm
He don't cook, he
surprised
don't
they even
clean, he
put
just
that
funking
in.
up everything.
I'm surprised they even put that in dialogue when he said that in that statement to Abby, which we got to move into that part. Um, I'm like, dang, they really he already walking around town with nothing to do, and then they make it worse by his daughter saying those things about him too. So it's like, what y'all gonna do with this character?
And kids will be honest when it comes to
I
stuff like
know,
that,
right? Um,
especially teenagers. Like, yeah, my
mm,
daddy is not cool. He's lame. He's this, he's that. And it's
mm-hmm,
all true. I agree with Lucy on that.
yep, me too. Um, Speaking of Daniel, when he was having that conversation, he was talking to Abby, and so there are issues that are going on with Abby and Devon. And Devon is look like we're getting a different branch to a storyline that already started. So originally he was so upset about what happened with Dominic and the whole kidnapping and Mariah, all that. Now
Mm-hmm.
it looks like he's trying to move into that he's really gotten past that, but it's something else, and he was trying to figure it out. So he had an interesting conversation with Lily after fussing at her about being with Kane on that couch. Um, I'm like, man, those walls have seen so much action over the years.
Okay.
I mean,
Oh,
Devon was
God.
in that same place with Abby a couple years ago, and now Kane, and anyway, um,
They
yeah,
changed the
that whole
couch.
situation, it was interesting because he was saying stuff like the money that he got and how he feel being as a billionaire, and that maybe the money is changing him, and I'm like, okay, but and I think one of you ladies brought this up in the chat that it's not like he haven't ran businesses before. He wasn't just had in a wad of cash and didn't know what to do with it. He had his own
Right.
companies. His dad, I mean, the Winters family is well off. You know, they might not have been billionaires, but they were well off. So it's not like you know, kind of jump income levels overnight.
He has been a billionaire for 13 years. He inherited that in 2013. And since then, he's had a music label. He still has a music label. He and his dad started a company. He's funded other people's companies too. And Lily and Nate, they're still working over at Winters, which was also funded by him. So it's he had a small moment where he lost his billions, which Kane helped him get that back, but
Hmm.
Devon will never
Admit
acknowledge that
that.
part.
Hmm.
But I don't think it has anything to do with his money. It has something to do with, I don't know if he is still grieving not having his dad, not having Hillary, and then almost losing his son, and maybe that's all coming to a head. There's a lot of things that he's went through, and in the stuff that his sister went through. So that's probably a lot on his shoulders, and now he's, I guess you can say, like maybe the man of the family, and then he's dealing with stuff with his wife. So I think he just needs to sit down with someone. I don't think he needs to give up his money or anything like that. That's crazy.
Yeah, that's why I
You
was
got
kind of wondering why they even put that in the conversation or, you know, or in dialogue of this whole storyline. So,
yeah, and I mean, what if he's going to give away his money? I'll take it.
yeah, tell me
The
about it.
same. I mean, I know what to do with 2.2 million, but billion, correction. But whatever he's going through, I don't think it's anything too serious. I think it might be a case of like walking depression or
Hmm.
like major depression, which I can see them going that direction with him because his anger's got to be stemming from a lot of different things that he's went through in his life that he's probably never dealt with. It. He just moves on and this keeps it bottled up, which unfortunately a lot of people do. So
So,
it's very relatable.
let me ask you this then. Why do you think he won't have that conversation with Abby, though?
She also might be a source of his problems too,
That's a good point.
and he probably doesn't know a way to address her because there might be stuff that's happening off screen that they haven't put into the scripting yet.
Hmm.
But it could be things within that marriage. Like he could probably be very upset with Victor. I mean, Victor had his sister go along with a kidnapping when his own child went through that.
Hmm.
That's enough to be furious. And then of course Abby turning a blind eye or making an excuse or whatever else, like everybody else is, he probably was furious about that.
Hmm.
Like it could be a number of different things, but that would be at the very top of the list. And then on top of that, she went against him after she was so angry at what Mariah did. She was the main one who was riled up at first and wanted to put Mariah in jail and have Mariah suffer the consequences. It took a minute for him to get on board, but then that completely switched.
Hmm.
And she turned him into she made it seem like he's this angry person all of a sudden when it was completely justified given what happened.
Hmm. Yep.
So he probably won't be able to really express that to his wife, or maybe not really find the words, or maybe she won't receive it as well. So it's like, why talk to her?
Gotcha. Yep. Well, I guess we'll find out where they're going to go, what direction this is, especially with Mariah pretty much being out. That her storyline happened in February sweeps, and she is now officially back home with Tessa, her daughter. She says that they let her out, saying that she is healthy and well. I'm curious to, what Devon's reaction is going to be, seeing that she's out technically under 6 months. So,
I would be furious. That would Uh, that would make me so upset
Mm-hmm.
as a parent. That would infuriate me. But it is what it is.
Yep. So,
Because that's literally a slap on the wrist.
yeah. So I have a feeling that's probably what they're gonna give her more material with her being in town, and then with Devon struggling with all of this. So, we did
Which
get
is
to
gonna suck.
what you say.
Yeah.
She said
I
it's
said, which
gonna,
is
it's
gonna
gonna
suck because
suck.
all they're doing is furthering the whole Devon has anger issues off of what Mariah did,
Mm-hmm.
and it's justified anger. But I hope I have my fingers crossed that this either drops or when the new writers get in, they do something to fix that storyline and not necessarily putting Mariah in jail. I mean, we're past that, but at least have one or two characters acknowledge that Devon is not wrong for how he feels. I think that's what bothers me the most is that literally nobody had backed Devon through that whole storyline.
Not his sister, not his cousin. That nobody, everyone's just pointing out that he's angry. Now,
Mm-hmm.
granted, him going after Kane for no reason, because I think that happened last week too, right? Um, like that was just petty and unnecessary. But the stuff that happened with his own child, how can people not identify with that? Because if the shoe was on the other foot and it was their child, they would feel the same way.
Yep. All right, we got two love scenes that happened this week. Surprisingly, because normally we get one every 3 years on The Young and the Restless. So, we had Phyllis and Matt. We got
Mm-hmm.
that, and I think a day or two later, let me see who did what first. No,
It
I
was
think it
Lily
was
and
Lily
Kane.
and Kane first, and then a day or two later we got Phyllis and Matt. I did put some video clips out on both, and you guys really, y'all had y'all say, which was hot or not, because that's what I put in there. And it was pretty 50-50. So, obviously, there's issues when it came to the Matt storyline because of his history. And then, Lily and Kane, they thought it was pretty predictable. It was coming sooner or later.
Look, all that simping finally got him some.
Yeah, after a
I
year
was
and a
like,
half, a year or so.
I mean, that's what he wanted. Like he didn't want it from Phyllis, but he took it because I mean, he's still a man. But it took him a year and some change. But that's not even the part that gets me. Did you hear that Lily was impressed and thrilled that he built the empire for her and the kids?
She said
But
that?
yes, she did. That's why
I
I was
must
saying
have
in the voice
missed
note.
that one because I would have been all over that. Wait a minute, hold on. Now, I know
Yes,
there was a
she
lot
did.
going on last week, but I missed that one.
Yes, she was taught. They were talking about the stuff that happened in Nice. She said, "Oh, I was surprised. What is he who Dumal was, and I was very upset that you kept this from me, but I was actually thrilled that you did this for me and the kids, and I
What?
didn't know how to react to that." And I was just angry, but I understand what she did this for
Are you
now.
serious? You laughed
Yes, she
and
did.
wait. She laughed and kikied with Victor, excited about having Arabesque destroyed by that AI system.
Mm-hmm. That girl used the word thrilled that he built
Oh,
an
that was
empire.
horrible writing.
Yes.
She
So
she.
you were thrilled,
Mm-hmm.
but you were perfectly fine with him throwing that $1 billion empire away because you were mad that he didn't tell you, even though y'all were not grouped together.
Yeah, that was crazy. Whoever, why would you write that like that? She spent the better of a year trying to destroy this man, and it was only after the bone marrow. Yeah, he gave bone marrow, right? Only after the
Mm-hmm.
bone marrow is when she changed her tune. If that guy wasn't a match, he would still be running around town trying to have a conversation with her.
Yeah. See, Nicole Barbie said yes. I was surprised she said that. She, I, I, I think I did like 2 or 3 voice notes in the group chat. When you go back and watch that episode, because it happened right before they got busy, and it's like when they were sitting on the couch and they were talking about Niece, and he's like, "How can you ever love me? Will you ever love me?" Or some type of mess. And she was like, well, the stuff that happened in Nice, I was so upset that you didn't tell me and didn't tell the kids. You kept it a secret, but I was thrilled that you did this for me and the kids.
Oh yeah,
And this
that's
man was trying to say,
crazy.
like, I built this for you. I want to share this with you. But she was so gung ho about having a whole attitude that he didn't tell her, even though they haven't been together in 6 years.
Girl, this girl, oh my God, you threw a whole nother dude in his face.
Yes.
Then you turn around and conspire with Victor to fake your kidnapping and was excited about the fact that Kane was losing everything to give up his company so he can. Yeah, yeah, we definitely. I can't wait to get these new. And who said that?
Yeah.
Gail said dumb writing. Absolutely.
Look, we got about 2 more months of dumb writing. The new writers started Monday. So those episodes won't reflect until October, early October. So we're phasing out Josh Griffin's writing
Mm-hmm.
until we stop seeing his name in the credits. Then we'll know because
That
his
is
name is still in the
insane.
credits.
That is insane. We also, and I think we kind of touched on it a little bit because we were talking about tomorrow's episode. If you haven't watched tomorrow's episode, Billy is about to throw his pregnant fiance under the bus.
Yeah, he's he's on my list just like Daniel is. I'm like, you got nothing better else to do. It took 2 jabs from Victor about nothing really. Like, oh, Kane's a better businessman than you, and I bet Jill would rather have Kane as her son than you. Like, you can't brush that off. It can't be water off a duck's back. You can't move forward. So you just throw a nuke at Victor that's only going to hurt Sally.
Yep. So you got,
It's, and it's not even his company.
yeah, you guys will see that in the Tuesday, August 4th episode. I was like, no, he didn't. No, you
Yep.
didn't. So I don't
Yeah.
want to go into too much of it. You know, sometimes we drop little nuggets, a little spoiler alerts, but you guys will definitely see what we're talking about tomorrow. I mean, honestly, I do think Chelsea and Adam had the right idea. It solved two problems. Number one, it helped them get the company back. And number two, it kept Victor off of Sally's back, especially with the fact that she's pregnant.
My thing is, if I'm using my money, that's my company.
Yeah,
So
he
why should Victor even be upset with that in the first
right.
place? Is my question.
Well, interesting that he asked Adam the question saying, "Where did you get the money to do that with?" And I'm like, "Don't he got some money?
Yeah.
Why you
None of these
care?"
kids are broke.
Right. So,
Ain't none of them broke.
mhm,
Adam's not as rich as Abby, Victoria, and Nick, because remember, they're still sitting on $500 million.
mhm,
But he's not broke. He can afford to buy that company. So for me, like if I bought it, it's mine.
yeah,
So regardless of how I got it, it's mine.
yeah. Well, Adam is always trying to prove something to Victor, and so he pull out a bunch of cash out of his bank account and hand delivered the company, and then the man is still mad because it didn't come to him the way that he wanted it. So,
Exactly. But once again, you got Victoria and Nikki saying like, "Oh, can we just move on and move forward with the pettiness?" It all starts with Victor. Victor is
facts.
the source of a lot of issues,
Yes, he is. Yes, he is.
and
Um,
and now he's going to go after Sally for no reason. And Devon Atkins, yes, we got new writers that they made a big announcement, but we won't see their work until probably October.
Yep. Um, I also want to go back to the Phyllis and Matt thing because she was acting like. Oh, did somebody try to say something?
Mm.
Oh, okay. Um, I wanted to go back to the Phyllis and Matt thing because Phyllis was acting like a schoolgirl. I mean, she is like, I want to take care of this man. Where are you? I need to find you. You know, Victor, if you've done something with him, I'm going to hunt you down. I'm like, girl, it's like that?
Like the love scene that they had, the little love scene they had, I was like, it's pretty hot. He's in great shape. I saw the abs. I was like, oh,
Mm-hmm.
okay. And the tattoos, I was like, oh,
And I
okay.
can't, it's not remiss upon me that Michelle Stafford looked like she got a body of a 30-year-old.
Yeah, she does. I don't know how old she is.
Girl, that girl
60
is 60,
something.
62.
Can never tell.
Nope.
She looks fantastic, and she's still doing these love scenes like it's nothing. But
Mm-hmm.
they had some hot chemistry. I just found it funny how the very next day, so we didn't get any carryover. So the next day, she lying in bed. He leaves her there. She's like, oh my God, he didn't leave me a note. He didn't leave me a text message. Oh. And then she has a whole attitude all the way downstairs. She's poking at Nikki and Victor for no reason. And then she's looking at her phone and saying, like, how could he do this? How could he do this? Whatever you did, Victor, like, I will never be okay with it. Meanwhile, he's over there. His first stop was to go see Sienna at the bar.
Mm-hmm.
She sends a text message to him, and he puts the phone down and looks at Sienna like, this, our conversation is more important.
Yeah.
I'm
Yeah.
like, Phyllis, you paying the food, the drinks, his room and board because he's living with you. He's shacking up with you. And now you also putting a target on your back, which is your own fault because you want to keep this man around. I'm like, what are you getting out of it? Like, he can't be that great in bed, can he?
Mm-mm.
It ain't that much lonely in the world.
Uh,
Right now.
yeah, I mean, she was doing, I mean, the girl was freaking out. Like, I'm like, dang, girl, was it like
Oh
that?
my God, he didn't call me. Did he leave town? Why wouldn't he say goodbye? Why would he do that to me? Did Victor do something? Like, I'd be so mad. Like, I'm going to send a text message. He better answer. If he doesn't answer, what am I going to do? Girl.
This see Cynthia Chain said, give Phyllis a break, ladies. It's been a long time since she had a man.
And you know what? You're completely right, Cynthia. It's been a minute. So at least this year, she got herself son. She got the cobwebs knocked down with Kane, and that she found another misfit like her with Matt Clark. I think that's the only appeal to him. So she's trying to make something out of really nothing because, like, what is he offering you, girl? And you're going to employ him.
Yeah, and he's working for you. And then she was like, I'm going to get you some clothes and I want to take care of you. And he was like, well, if you let me take care of you too. It went in the middle of that love scene, you know. I'm like, oh, I know what that means. But,
I mean, he better do something. He always needs to do something.
That's about all he has to offer.
He's the oldest sugar baby if I ever
wait a
did see
minute,
one.
Keisha's funny. Keisha said all he got to offer is some peen.
I mean, he better offer more than beans, some skill sets, some massages. He better run her bath or something more than this.
Oh my goodness. That was crazy. All right, and then the other last thing that we had this week is that standalone episode with Nikki where she was seeing some of everybody until her vision came back.
Yeah, I fell asleep to that episode, y'all. I think
Wasn't
I
that
told you
that
guys in the chat.
Tuesday? Was that Tuesday episode? The
I think it was
28th?
Wednesday. It
Oh,
was in the
okay.
middle of the week, I believe.
Let me
I
see.
think I watched it on that Tuesday,
Oh, yeah,
but
it
it
was
was Wednesday.
Tuesday. Yeah, it was
I didn't
Tuesday the
even take.
28th.
It wasn't anything. She was calling out all these different people. Victoria kept leaving her alone by herself, and then towards the end, she's with Victor, and she magically gets her sight back.
Yeah,
So we didn't miss anything, I promise.
yeah. I remember you leaving a voice message. If you got anything else to do, you do it.
Yeah, I
uh,
fell asleep twice. I tried, but I'm
you
like, that
tried,
was
huh,
a really
girl?
great nap I had.
Oh my goodness. All right. I think we covered everything with the Young and the Restless. I can't think of anything else because unless you can. Anybody got anything else on that one before we move over to the
No, I
Bold and the
think
No, I
that's
Beautiful?
do not.
it. They had that little argument with Sally and Billy, which is more the same, and she's telling him to keep his mouth shut. And uh,
Yeah, he was
fast
mad
forward to tomorrow.
because yeah, I guess he had found out about all that stuff that was planned between Sally and him, and Audra was begging her to tell him the truth. And he was like, "Well, why you tell me? You keeping secrets from me?" And it's because you a knucklehead. That's why. Just like
Yeah,
what
and
happens in tomorrow episode was the one reason why she was struggling to keep this from you, because we know
mm-hmm.
because of how he reacts to stuff and what he do.
And I'm like, that's the man you let impregnate you.
Mhm.
You stuck with him,
Yep.
and it's not even his business, his company. It got nothing to do with him. There's nothing Billy Abbott related over there.
Mm-mm.
That was between her and Adam. And she collected a check. So what are you mad for?
Right.
Are you tapped out? Do you need the money too?
Mm-mm. Yep. So he's so messy. All right, let's jump in the bold. The Bold and the Beautiful for the week of the 27th of July through the 31st.
It's
So,
more
with
like the whining and the begging.
the one,
That's all
uh,
that was this week.
so we kind of kicked the week off with Hope standing her ground with Steph, and I'm like, these folks, y'all need to get some. I think we said this last Monday. They need to get some
Mm-hmm.
security because y'all just stop them downstairs. They shouldn't be trying to be stopped trying to get to the CEO office. But Steffi got in there and decided to talk about how Hope ruined everything for them. And I mean, I still have reservations because Hope played two in the middle. You signed a contract over here, but you didn't put in your resignation over at Forrester.
Mm-hmm. The part that I don't like is, well, it's a couple of things. Steffi, why are you over there?
Mm,
That makes
the
your
optics.
company look
Mm-hmm.
weak. It really does. And then on top of that, in that discussion, Hope is like, well, I got from underneath your control. When you work for somebody, they are in control of how that business operates. It's not just Steffi. So then you should be mad at Ridge and Eric too, because she has to clear those decisions with them. And there's been at least a couple of times where Ridge wanted to put your line on a shelf because it wasn't making any money. And on top of that, you had the whole coup last year, which you took advantage of. And yes, I know it was Carter, and Carter did this, Carter did that. She reaped a lot of benefits.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
She was gassing this man up to reap the benefits. So she went along with that ride, and she helped committed those crimes too. And they still let her back. So that's where it's like the common courtesy would have been to be like, you know what, you're unhappy here. I'm just going to leave altogether. Damn, I don't think there would have been nothing that they could have done. They'd be like, okay, then we'll regroup and re-strategize. Nobody blindsided her. Every time she asked, when is the line coming back? Well, we don't know. Some companies don't know the projections until they get through whatever is important in that quarter. So that's what you get for being an employee, and your whole husband is a billionaire son. He could have helped you start your own clothing line or your own business. And you haven't paid rent a day in your life, so you have money in your pocket too. So you chose to be miserable over there, and you would have no issues being miserable over there with Steffi leaving, as if your mother was really going to go against Ridge when it comes to decisions. So it would have been more of the same. She just has an issue when it comes to Steffi, and Steffi being in power, and she thinks that she's an equal to her. I'm like, just own it and just admit that. But everybody went where they want to. Let this be a healthy competition thing. Steffi didn't need to be over there. Hope will never apologize for her actions. So it's like, what was the whole point of that discussion?
Yeah.
You got anything, Keish?
No, I agree, Bree. I hated that Steffi went over there because Steffi of all people at Forrester needs to be the one that is telling everybody else we don't have anything to worry about. Hope is gone. We can move on. We don't need her for our company. So she should be the one like cheerleading and pulling everybody out of the mood that they're in, and like, I don't know, just trying to hype everybody up instead of also being in panic mode. Um, Going over and I agree that her going over to Logan just showed. I feel like it gave Hope what she wanted, because Hope likes when people fuss over her. And Steffi going over there telling her, I can't believe what you did. You ruined everything. Blah. To me, that sounds like Forrester is in a lot of trouble because you left. So it sounds like you guys need her. And I feel like that just feeds feeds her ego even more. Like, pay her dust and go on about your business. But I will say there were a lot of things that Steffi said that did have some truth behind it. Like Brie was saying, like, she asked her, why didn't you just say anything? Why didn't you just say something? Like, what would have been so hard about telling us that you were coming over here, Logan? And like reminding her like what she did also affected Zendaya and the other people that worked on the line. Um, and I remember there was something else she said that that was a good point as well. Well,
like your mother was on her, Brooke was always on her side, and they let her back in when they didn't have to because of the coup. And
this is what she said that stood out to me. She was like, you weren't mistreated. You just didn't get what you wanted when you wanted it. And that's what I've been saying through this whole storyline is Hope is throwing a tantrum because she didn't get what she wanted the second she wanted it. Because they never told her that her line was going away. They just told her she was going to have to wait. And that's what Steffi said to her. You just didn't want to wait. So basically, you started this whole drama because you didn't want to wait a few months for us to get back to your line. That's what your problem was. So there were a lot of things that Steffi said that I agree with. I hate that she went over there, like went and sought her out to let her know that she was bothered by what she did.
And then say, like, I had to get from underneath your control, Steffi. There's other people that run that company that Hope had to answer to.
And she's never had it hard there. Like, that's the most annoying thing about this storyline is Hope has never had it hard at Forrester. She got told no once or twice in her 15 years there. And every time she was told no, she did something. And literally just a year ago was the first time she was told no. Well, no, I take that back. She didn't get her money for the relaunch of her line when she first came back because it went to the Intimates line. But a few months later, she ended up getting it anyway. So this last year was the first time that she was told no to something, and her and Carter did the coup. And then she was told no again this year, and she did all of this, all these dramatics, went behind, her mom's back and did this. And it's like, girl,
And I'm sorry.
No, I'm done.
I was gonna say, like, the fact that she felt that she was the one who was mistreated. I'm like, last I checked, you had a long-standing line. So did your mother. But Thomas, Zende, they have yet to have like their own line, and they put hard work into that company. And let's not forget like how the actual Forrester children, Kristen and Felicia, have been treated, and Thorne, most of all, have always been treated unfairly. Meanwhile, Brooke's kids, Hope included, has always had pretty much what they've wanted throughout this show. So how is she mistreated and treated unfairly? And if she wants to talk about a bully, the bully that she could probably work for would be Victor. That would be the definition of a bully.
She working for a bully now. She work under Bill.
Yeah. And we'll see how long this kumbaya is going to be. So, I mean, if she's happy where she's at, okay, she better stay where she's at. Because her trying to crawl back to Forrester is going to come sooner rather than later. So we'll see. Enjoy it while it lasts.
I guess that's where that whole statement, which I don't 100% buy into, but the whole statement about how perception is reality. She perceives that she is just in this struggling position, and to her, that's her reality. She thinks that it's just horrible working up under Steffi, and people are holding her back, and she doesn't have the ultimate control of what she needs. Because as much as, like you were saying, she pretty much got what she wants the way we see it, the way that this is written, she has a totally different perception on what it's like to work for Forrester Creations. Now, if you feel that you need to leave and you want to do something different, by all means do that. I just don't like how she went about it. Now, obviously, it makes for soapy drama because this happened in the middle of July sweeps. And I think part of it started in May. So, obviously they wanted the drama, and Brooke get the shock of her life, and she really took it out on Katie. We really haven't truly seen the full effect of either RJ or his mother saying anything to Hope. But anyway,
RJ only care about a lecture.
exactly. But he's butthurt and mad about what's going on with Will and the family and this war. But your sister is the catalyst in there. Your sister and your grandfather.
Yes.
You
Who's
know.
also not taking any accountability for his
No.
action.
We talked about that last week when that happened, when she was screaming and crying and they left her out to dry. Because he wouldn't be accountable and tell the truth. But my thing is that, Hope could have had a conversation with her mom, and if you were grown enough to make a full decision where you're making all these moves and getting your brother on board and, signing papers and stuff like that, I don't care what your mama would have said. If you really wanted to do this, you would have been like, yeah, mom, I hear you, but you know what? I'm sorry. I gotta do what I gotta do.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And it's kumbaya right now over at Logan. They always start with a high, and it's going to be a dramatic fall from that point, because Bill is who he is. He is always bullied Hope. He never wanted her with Liam. So everything's like a bunch of roses now, but that will change the moment that they either disagree on something or he wants to push the narrative that goes against what she wants. Something's going to happen to where that's going to be an issue.
I just think the difference is this time is because his relationship is a little bit stronger with Liam now, and the fact that he just got married to Katie, I don't think he want to really rock the boat with that. And I can guarantee you, Katie is probably going to get in the middle of that and say, "Hey, you can't do this to my niece. I'm sorry." So I think right now he would probably be a little bit more hands off, but down the road, who knows? You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's definitely going to come to a point when her and Bill are at odds about something, and it ends up affecting him and Liam. I'm not saying it'll be some type of long-term effect, but I can totally see a situation where she wants to do something and Bill is like no, and then Liam is basically going to be the Brooke at Logan for Hope when it comes to Bill.
Mm-mm.
That's a valid point. Um, I and I think Ron Julian had asked this question. How long do I think? I think he asked this to you, Keish, too. How long do I think Logan's going to be around? I honestly don't think it's going to last long because everybody is just this whole thing is just falling apart, and it's not even about fashion. It's been about Elektra. It like that whole preview. What a couple of weeks ago, and that has faded into background.
Well,
Everything has been about fist fights and these petty arguments in Elektra.
they shifted some other storylines around because then they Hope was gone for about a week, or Annika was off or whatever for about a week, and then Brooke was somewhere at a retreat, and that shifted that whole storyline with the fashion stuff to Elektra and Will and this stuff with Sheila.
Yeah,
So it kind of pushed that one off to the side, and then we moved full front with this whole thing with Sheila trying to get back into good graces with Finn, and then this whole mess with Elektra. I saw a post today, and somebody said somebody need to get these teenagers, and they're not teenagers, you guys. They're in their early 20s, but
I need some
they're
ID.
what you say?
I need some ID. I
Girl, you
can't
so
tell.
crazy. But a lot of folks is just not. I don't know. They're not feeling this whole dynamic with what's going on with the second level generation, I guess. And I don't even know if that's second level. That's third because, am I right? Y'all were talking about that with Hope and Steffi
Yeah.
being second level, correct?
Yeah.
Yeah, I would say they were third, like in the 20s age bracket. Stacey and Hope and them are like straddling the 30s and 40s.
Right.
Yeah. With kids and
Yeah.
everything. But
I don't
the
mind them. I just need the writing to be the storyline to be a little bit better because it's all felt very forced.
I need a short break from them. And it's once again no shade whatsoever to the actors, but it's become very redundant, and it's pitiful to see Will particularly beg and cry for absolutely no reason. This girl's clearly not worthy, and we see almost every episode where this girl is crying and pouting. She's stuck on one face, and it's over the pettiest of things, and it doesn't seem like all that interesting. That's why, like, oh, the kids are on. Like, so in there, I think there was like an episode or two where I had fast forward through Will and Elektra. It's like it's more the same. There's nothing that moves forward, and usually with younger storylines, they have already moved on to like the next person, and it's like this hot and spicy something. Like this is the summer. It should be hot summer romance, and it's just been a bunch of like fist fights, and then Santa Claus gets knocked down, and then Elektra just crying, and you got Will with his key sweat begging on the ground and everything. I mean, I'm like, come on.
To be fair, though, a lot of their storyline, like a lot of what happens in their storylines, is just redundant in general.
Yeah,
like it's not just the 20 something set. Like that's how Bold is. It's repetitive. People are having the same conversations for weeks, and it's frustrating. um, but I do agree with what you're saying about I wish they would move the storyline along with them because it's definitely been like a rotating. It's just been going in circles with Will and Elektra for months now.
It's just, I don't
And
know. They look unhinged. I mean, you got Will begging for the disrespect. Then you got Electra, who is all over the place and she's hitting people, calling people names. RJ gets no accountability. And Dylan is
Mhm.
just doing anything for a nugget, for a friendship. And then she's chasing after a man who clearly tells her, I really don't want to be with you, but if you want to give me some, I'll take it. But then he changes his mind. It's like, come on, girl. And Autumn, thank you for the super chat. She says B&B has become unwatchable lately. Electra is so annoying and selfish. Like Dylan said, Electra act like her feelings are the only things that matter.
Well, remember,
Yeah.
she said it's her world and we just live in it.
I mean, this girl went all the way back to the fact that Dylan purposely came to LA to get a job, to get thrown in a closet by Luna and all this stuff leading up just to get the will. Are you serious? Have you just created a whole separate reality in your head?
Yeah, that was
Yeah.
pretty ridiculous.
That was insane.
And then
Oh,
oh, I'm sorry.
no, 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 you go ahead.
And I was going to say, like, the discussion that she also had with Will and the stuff that she was bringing up, it's like, it's been over a year, and it's been one thing after another. I had to choose myself. Girl,
But you see
whatever.
what they
You
did in
always
that
chose
moment.
yourself.
They did in this. I don't know unless they're out of touch with from because I mean unless I'm missing something. So they tried to make this as an empowerment moment because she used the word calling him a pig and then turn
Yes.
around and says, I have to do what's best for myself. And they had this music playing in the background as if she's making a stance. And I'm like, are y'all that out of touch for us to realize that what she's doing doesn't make sense? It's not some glorious self proclamation of a stance that she's standing up for herself to not deal with a
Hmm.
man who could treat her like this. No, that ain't what this is.
Yeah,
I
yes. That this is where Bolt sucks at actually connecting the writing to what's happening on screen, like what has actually happened.
Mm-hmm.
Because you are exactly right. They are having her talk as if Will has really done something horrendous to her. Like he was just the worst boyfriend ever, totally disrespectful to her, and he's never been that. And that's the same thing that happened with Hope, where she said that Forster was just a horrible place to work, and they were so mean. Steffi was so mean to her and bullied her, and they always, they never prioritized her, and because she wasn't a Forester, like I feel like they have the characters living in two different realities from what they actually show us is happening
yes.
Yeah,
to
it's
what
like
they
you're being
actually have them
gaslit.
saying.
Yeah, so it's like
Yes,
you're being gaslit.
yes,
Mm-hmm.
that's exactly what it feels like.
And I feel like with Electra specifically, they wrote this character very out of touch. Even the way that she treated Dylan when she was homeless. You invited that girl to live with your boyfriend, then you wanted her to go back out to the streets, and then you wanted to take any form of employment away from her, and then you tried to
Mm-hmm.
get her fired, and then you were basically bullying that girl with the disrespectful remarks and everything. And as soon as that girl got a paycheck, you were ready for her to leave Will's house. And even at that time, Electra wasn't with Will.
Yeah.
So she is very much out of touch. And I don't know what Brad Bell was trying to paint with this, but I think because I was watching Sophie, and the actress who plays Dylan, Sydney Bullock, she actually did that interview where they were talking about like her looking at some of the stuff that Steffi used to do from like seasons, like the earlier years with Hope, Liam, and Steffi. So they can kind of paint her as a Steffi. And I guess they're going to paint Electra as a Hope, which makes sense because the delusion's still the same. So I
Okay,
get that.
can I? I'm looking in the comments and um, there are comments that saying Dylan deserved every bit of what she got. Dylan is a backstabbing girlfriend towards Electra. You guys in the chat, help me understand where you coming from on this. Help us understand. I'm curious because
I'm
if
trying to count. We should do a poll.
right, I
That's
So
mean,
I
go ahead, Keish.
I will say the one thing that I will criticize Dylan for is she keeps saying that she values her friendship with the lecturer and she still wants to be her friend. And she has to pick a side. Like, you can't say that you're best friends with this girl and you still want to be her best friend as you are actively going after her ex-boyfriend who she was, claims to be in love with, who was her first, who she still has feelings for. Like, if that's what you want to do, is fine, but you need to cut that friendship off. Clearly, a lecturer isn't going to be okay with her best friend dating someone that she was in love with or had strong feelings for, or the first guy that she was ever with sexually. So that's the part I will give Dylan some smoke for. Like, you can't straddle the fence on this. You got to say, well, our friendship is done, and feel free to go after Will, or you need to drop the um your feelings for Will if you want to keep her as your best friend. In my opinion, I think she just needs to go for what she wants, which is obviously Will, and drop Electra as her friend because Electra was a iffy friend anyway.
it
Oh,
was like there was a lot of rules to that friendship, and
Mm-hmm.
Electra was still making Dylan feel bad when it was Electra who set everything in motion over at Will's house
Yeah.
anyway.
Did you guys notice that she told her, we invited you to stay at Will's house for one day and you ended up there for a month? And it's like, that's not what you guys did. You told her you let her move in. Like, literally use the words move in. You didn't say spend the night for a night.
Because she could have spent the night on the couch. They gave her the room above the house.
Right.
So, I mean, that didn't make any lick of sense. Now, what I will say, from a woman's perspective, if I had a friend who was going after my ex-boyfriend, I would feel away. That's a little too close in proximity. I don't think any woman would ever be okay with that.
Right.
My next question is, were Dylan and Electra ever really friends?
The friendship seemed to come out of nowhere after the whole thing with Luna, because I don't remember seeing them in scenes together before or talking to each other before that. So it's kind of like this is what I mean when I say this whole situation between the four of them is forced, because
Yes.
the bestie friendship came out of nowhere. The rivalry with RJ and Will didn't need to happen. This was literally RJ coming to town and immediately jumping on the um you're too good for Will uh train when Will hadn't done anything but allow a girl to stay, in his apartment, which was Electra's idea. Just like everything about their dynamic has been forced, including the two of them, being best friends.
I just,
how many people in the chat, by the way?
we got 88 in the chat.
Okay, so it's 88 people in the chat. I did put a poll up there. I only see 15 votes. So, I put a question up there. Who's at fault in this friendship? And I'm sorry I misspelled friend. I before E. Um, Dylan or Electra. So I wanted you guys to. I know a lot of you guys are typing. If you don't want to type a message, obviously, you can, um, click the poll and we can kind of get a gauge of what you guys think. Because I am Leah Unfiltered put a whole message about what she thought about Dylan. Um, She said she lied daily about her attraction, and when Ivy caught her, she lied that Ivy made it up. Electra forgave her, and what did she do? Well, I don't call it a separation. She said broke up. Um, Separated from Will, ran to Will, and spent the night.
But the thing is up to that point, Dylan had not actually made a move on Will. She didn't tell Will how she felt. She did keep it to herself. I mean, you can't help the feelings that you have, regardless of if it's a best friend's boyfriend or not. But she didn't make a move and she didn't say anything to anybody. She wasn't going to until after they broke up, and that's when she after she made that move on Will was when she should have ended her friendship with Dylan. So that's what I'll criticize her for,
Yeah.
because you can't keep that friendship and also go after her boyfriend every time they break up.
And if I could bring like a comparison, the women at that office were blatantly throwing themselves at Will and RJ, but at Will mainly. And they considered themselves to be friends with Elektra and was doing the sneaky stuff trying to invite him right after they broke up. Whereas you had Dylan, who, and this is why we kept saying she was a pick me, she was taking a lot of like the
Rejection.
rejection from Elektra and these jabs from Elektra, and was still trying to choose her friendship. So she did put her feelings in the back burner. It happens. They're young, but she still did that. But once again, were they ever really friends? Because there has to be a mutual loyalty. I can't see Dylan being exclusively loyal and Elektra doing the same thing. I couldn't be friends with someone who dictates how how I'm supposed to be working, who I should be getting involved with, whether or not I have an in office relationship or not, who my friends are, where I need to go. And then you have Dylan, like if you have to uh, kiss up to your friend all the time, is that really your friend? It sounds like you're trying to join a sorority and you're just taking the what is it called, like the initiation thing.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about.
You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's basically what that is. So were they ever really friends?
Yeah,
They didn't move like friends. They moved like coworkers.
yeah, I don't think there was a friendship there. I think it was somebody wanting a friendship and the other person seeing this as an opportunity to control the environment around her. Because
Yes.
she knew there's no way Electra was in the dark. She knew a long time ago that Dylan was interested in that boy. She knew that. This is not new news for her. And which is why she put those stipulations
This
in
week,
on
last week.
right. What'd you say?
Exactly what she did last week. Like, oh, he's
Well, she
single.
put stipulations way back when she was telling her who she shouldn't talk to and who she can't date and all these different things because she thought that she can not only have this girl around but control the narrative, control the environment with her in it. She was looking for a friendship. Electra was looking for control.
Yeah.
And she wanted control. And even still, just say Dylan wasn't in the picture. If it was Allison that's in that office or that other girl over at Bikini, I'm surprised she wasn't telling them, "Hey, you know I just broke up from Will. Why are you talking to him? We had just broken up." You can't go around and dictate who your ex can be in a situation with. You just can't.
Right. He is
And
your ex.
I mean, you walked out on this man at least 4 or 5 times. You done threw that necklace at him. You done walked out with his cousin
Mm-hmm.
multiple times. And then this last time at Bikini, you tell him never ever. And then the
Right.
moment that you find out, that Dylan is interested, then now you're over there talking about how dare you, how could you do this to me? Okay, you're not in a relationship, ma'am. Do what? I'm just saying. I mean, if it was Allison or anybody else, what is that a problem too? Just because you don't want nobody with him, even though you don't want him right now.
And she expects loyalty from everybody else. But meanwhile, she will never take accountability for her actions, the things that she says and the things that she does. And I think this is a case of keep your friends close and keep your enemies closer. She looked at Dylan as a threat. That's why when Dylan first moved in and she realized, okay, I just let a whole girl move in with my boyfriend. Let me go ahead and put these stipulations right out the gate. She looked at Dylan as a threat from the get-go because she's a pretty girl and she's in close proximity with her boyfriend at the time, when she should have been smart enough to at least take Dylan over to Eric's house, and it would have solved a lot of their issues.
Yeah, that was dumb in
So,
itself. Cause I mean, there's no way if you're in a relationship or even as something as an exclusive relationship that you're gonna let your girlfriend stay at your man house and you don't live there.
right.
That
Right.
is insane.
Yeah, so she really brought this upon herself, but I'm like, this is not a position that she chose to be in. She was homeless and living in her car, and you invited her to live with your boyfriend. And now this girl's even more in close proximity. So it's like, what can you do? But at the same time, were they ever really friends? I think that she just wanted to keep her enemy close.
That's a good point.
That's exactly what that was. She wanted to control the environment. She wanted to make sure that you don't do what I need. I need you to keep. I need to keep you in check, so you don't do anything that I don't want you to do.
Yeah, and if we're not really friends, all bets are off.
You
Because
know,
once again, this is a billionaire son, and a lot of women, like Dylan said, it's not going to be just me. A lot of women are going to throw themselves at Will. He's an eligible, rich bachelor. So why am I going to sit on the sidelines for you?
yeah, that whole thing. That girl is no saint. I mean, you still ain't told him how many kisses that you had with RJ. So let's stop talking
Mm-hmm.
about the secrets. Then she turned around and tell in today's episode she was upset because you didn't stop your mom for pushing the jewelry line. Okay, no, he didn't because that's his mom's company. You want him to go against his family, but you're not going against your family for him.
Oh, thank you. Exactly.
Yep, that's a
If
good
you
point.
wanted to be with this man, all you had to do is just speak up for yourself. It would have took nothing because everyone would just have to deal with it. But you were saying like, oh my God, the Foresters, I have to be loyal to them. Like what you did was wrong. And if that's not how you genuinely feel, and you're allowing yet another group of people trying to dictate your decisions, like Ivy did, like other people did, then it's on you. So if he decides to go about his life, why can't he do that? You can't hold him accountable after you broke up with him.
Yeah.
And then where's your accountability for your actions and your choices and your decisions? That's why it's hard to ever feel sorry for Electra.
Yeah, I
I don't
mean,
think
do
I've
you
ever felt
guys see
sorry for that girl.
what you say?
I said, I don't think I've ever felt sorry for that girl.
Did do you guys see Dylan as a gold digger?
No.
No, but I see they're writing her as one.
Where are they getting
I
this from, though? I mean, one thing that
I
girl,
haven't seen it.
I don't see it. I don't see it. I mean, this girl is eating out of trash cans. It's not like she's like who would I consider a gold digger in soap shows?
Amber Moore.
Haley.
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 Yeah, because I mean, if we're just basing it off the fact that she's poor and she's in love with a rich guy, that doesn't make her a gold digger.
Right.
She hasn't really done anything to suggest that she's after Will for his money or after any rich guy for his
That
money.
girl working two jobs right now.
Yeah.
Right. She would move completely different and would not care about trying to be a pick me for Electra.
Yeah, that's not a gold. Them gold diggers have a whole plan. They ain't just out
Yes.
there just saying, "Let me find the highest bidder." They have a plan, just like what we see with Haley. She has a plan with all her hits from the guys that she
Mm-hmm.
did before, and now with Bill Hamilton. There was a plot. Let me become, the whole thing with what's that girl name, Naomi, and then get
Mm-hmm.
into the house and hang out with them and all this sort kind of stuff. And I want to break up the marriage and get with the rich husband, and that ain't, yeah. Mm-mm.
And she had a shot with RJ. I
Yeah.
mean, we know that RJ
Yeah.
is into, really into Electra, but RJ was the one that was pushing up on her, and she kind of pumped the brakes on him.
Yep.
There's been plenty of gold diggers. I think, yeah, Cheryl Hines said Lynette Luna was also a gold digger.
Yep.
Because she went
She
the
got
Spencer fortune.
pregnant to get into the Spencer family.
Yes. And Amber Moore used to do this. So there's different, women who showcase they were gold diggers.
Yeah.
I can't really say that about Dylan yet, but it looks like they're going to pivot that direction. Poppy was a gold digger.
Mm-hmm.
What?
Going after rich people's husbands. So, I mean, they're finding any and every reason. This is why Lee was saying that Poppy was always sleeping around with the men at the hospital, the people's husbands. She was always trying to find a rich man and trying to get impregnated by one. That's why she didn't know who the father of her child was, or she was playing it off.
Pregnant by her nephew.
Exactly.
I forgot about that backstory. Her having affairs with Doctor.
Mm-hmm.
Brooke was the OG gold digger. She sure was. That's why she was trying to do any and everything to try to get a Forrester man.
Yeah, I mean,
And she sure did.
Anything is subject to change, with the soaps, depending on the direction that they write her. Because I mean, obviously, if you saw the spoilers for this week, there's this whole thing where it says Dylan set her sights on the Spencer family. So I don't know what that means. Whether she's looking for a job, or because she's already thinking about Will. What else is she thinking about with the Spencer family? What does that mean?
Well, I think because
I thought job too, Keish.
Because I don't know, for whatever reason, why did Dylan show up at work and thinking that everything, that telling Electra was going to be okay and that she's going to still keep her job. So I can see her setting her sights trying to get a job over at Logan because she probably thinks her job at Forrester is pretty much done. I can definitely see that.
I mean, I still go to work too. I'm gonna go to work until y'all fire me.
Well, because RJ did ask her, why did you have to tell her all that? And she was like, hey, the girl asked, she pushed the issue, and I told her the truth.
Yep. So, and she's like, look, I probably lost my job. I mean, you take that risk. I mean, if anything, you would have shared that stuff when you had another job lined up. So if Electra fired you, it wouldn't mean
according to RJ, he said ain't nobody getting fired, but I don't know who called the show. Well, if Steffi and Ridge realizes that, they might want her gone. So
because her association with Will, I can see
that. They might want her gone.
Yeah, so. I can totally see her ending up over at Logan.
Well,
Katie don't have a problem with that. Let's move on a little bit.
Not like her?
Huh? Yeah, it looked like, according to the spoilers, she is really. They're gonna have an intense conversation, about, it's not gonna go over as smooth because Bill and Wyatt, they have a different take on this. We saw Wyatt last week was telling him, look, dude, I understand you love that girl, but you're going to have to move on. The source of your problems right now is her.
Mm-hmm.
So he won't listen, but I love her so much. She's the love of my life.
Yeah. And then Katie's co-signing this. Like, you should go after Electra. This idiot. That's why I said, like, it's not going to last long because she's running Logan and she has a mindset to think that her son and Electra should be together. I'm like,
Have
you're
you?
not that
That's what I'm
bright.
like. If I mean, I obviously I have about to be 26-year-old son, and if I seen a girl constantly running in and out of his life with his cousin, because my nephew is the same age, and going back, it's like, dude, you need to let that go. There is no way I would co-sign that.
What would you do if your son was making moves like Will, trying to beg to get this girl back,
Oh, girl.
and he was with a girl with like Electra? What would you do?
Oh man.
She's an emotional terrorist. I mean, she breaks
She
up with that
is.
guy. She breaks up with him every time he does something that upsets her. And it don't even be any. He don't even be doing anything. Like Will
Yes,
has literally done nothing to this girl.
nothing. But if it was your son, and then she's telling your son, "Oh, you should have went against your mother for me."
Oh man. Girl, that's a whole problem. But you know what, to be honest, my well, he cut her off. But my son was actually in a situation like similar, and he cut her off. It was just, he was like, nah, I can't. Mm-mm. I'm like,
See, he
that's a
got better sense than
he
Will.
got better sense.
See, and I think Will, he likes the toxicness of Electra because he feeds into it. You would think he would have some common sense, and he does. He's just choosing not to use it. They like the toxic push and pull. That's why I don't feel sorry for Will at this point. He deserves exactly what he gets then if he doesn't want to move on and move forward.
Yeah. Yeah. I just hope that Bill talk some sense into even Wyatt, because there's supposed to be another conversation with Wyatt this week, that they kind of wake this boy up. Can you see how this girl is manipulating your emotions? That's all
Yeah.
this is. You guys are not even in a relationship. She walked out on you and told you, we're no longer together, we're broken up, and she's still trying to hold you accountable as if you're still in that same relationship. The rules are out the door at this point.
Exactly. And how many times does she need to walk up out of your house for
Mm-hmm.
no reason? Better yet, she walks out of your house with a whole other guy,
Your cousin.
your cousin, your
That has
family
been
member.
antagonizing you for months.
Right.
Yes. And she puts you in these predicaments. How many times are you going to allow that to happen to where you completely lose all your dignity and your self-respect? It's like
Mm-hmm.
she does not care. She is the most self-centered one on the show at the moment.
And
Hope is
I
taking a break.
and I agree. I mean, I am Leah Unfiltered. I understand that his feelings are still there, but that doesn't mean that it's healthy.
Right.
That is not emotionally healthy for somebody to continue to do that and then try to control your life when they technically don't want to be with you.
And a prime example would be Steffi, Liam, and Hope. Steffi decided to move on with Finn because she got tired of the toxicness of Liam and Hope. She got tired of that merry-go-round. And Liam was a very toxic
I
person.
mean,
He was the
yeah.
Electra,
Yeah, that
in my
man was
opinion.
bouncing. That's why we call him Waffle Boy, because he kept bouncing back and forth and back and forth. When he was with Hope, he was thinking about Steffi, and then he'll go over there. And then when he was with Steffi, you thinking about Hope. Then he'll go over there, and that happened for 12 years.
Yeah. And eventually you got to choose yourself, your self-respect, your dignity, your happiness, your peace. And life is short. And like, how many times are you going to wait for this person to try to get on board with your thought process?
Yeah,
And if this person keeps walking in and out of your life and entertaining other options, then maybe it's time for you to change direction, change course for yourself, which is what Steffi did with Finn.
yeah.
It only took her a decade.
Yeah, I know,
Yeah,
right? It took a
yeah.
whole year. I mean, a whole
Some
10
people are
years.
slow. Some people are slow.
Uh,
She was
Yeah.
definitely that.
Matter of fact, we need to move on and talk about Finn and Steffi and Sheila and Lee.
Whew. Oh boy.
this whole storyline is a mess.
I was so disappointed with Steffi. I know you're gonna get me, Keish, but
I hate you.
did not let this man be able to answer anything for himself. Just cutting him off when he's trying to explain things, trying to offer solutions. No, no, no. You don't need to feel this way. You don't need to act this way. You understand that, right? Giving him a direct yes or no answer. Fast forward to the discussion he had with his mother today, where she was like, I don't care how anybody else feels. How do you feel? She gave him room and opportunity to express how he feels. And even in that discussion, he was still trying to say, like, well, Steffi doesn't like this. Steffi doesn't like that. She's like, forget how Steffi feels. How do you feel? Do you feel that she's changed? What do you want? Which is what his wife should have offered that opportunity for. But
I agree.
he is putting his whole feelings on a shelf, and it's like, what type of marriage is that?
Yeah, I agree with that. I mean, to me, that should have been a relief for him to have that conversation with Lee because he really hasn't been able to find a space to say, this is how I feel about this situation. And he even brought up a plan. He was like, why don't we maintain this situation by giving her a few
What she said.
opportunities to, and then at least we can manage the situation. Or I forgot how he explained it to Lee. Instead of isolating where she's going to continue to push even harder.
Oh,
But
yes, supervised visits.
right, something like that. I just like the fact that Lee says, how do you feel? What do you think? What do you want? And that's what's supposed to happen. I mean, at least that's what Steffi should give him the space to do, but she's directing his thoughts. You know
Or
you
not
don't
allowing him
want
to
this,
have his own
right?
thoughts.
Exactly. It's like I need you to agree with what I think. And that's just not how, in my opinion, that's just my opinion. I don't think that's how a relationship should go. It's a meeting of the mind somewhere in there. You just can't say, I need you to think my way or the highway, and that's it. So eventually he's going to resent you because that's all it's going to do is build up. When you
Yeah.
got an opposing feeling of something and this person is telling you, I don't want to talk about it, you're going to think the way I want you to think, you understand that, don't you? And you bury that your feelings are still under there. And they're going to continue to build and build and build and build until the point that the person end up resenting you after a while.
And she doesn't even have to agree with it,
Right.
but leave a space open so your husband can actually express how he feels, his thought process. Allow him to offer some form of solutions. And if it doesn't work for you, then you guys can go your separate ways. Because like I said, life is short. And he shouldn't have to put his feelings on a shelf for just hers and only hers. It's a two-way street. It's a marriage. She should be able to hear where he's coming from, whether it doesn't make any sense to her or not. Give him the space before you allow another woman to give him that space.
And see, remember when the whole thing with Hope came around, she was that one person to say, Steffi don't understand. You should have a relationship with your mother when she was talking all that mess, what, 2 years ago?
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
but she wasn't a loyal friend either.
Right.
That's keeping your friends close and your
Right,
enemies
exactly.
closer. That too. But even Lee is like, okay, because I think she said this in today's episode. Steffi's not willing to try to see that Sheila has changed. She's not even trying to at least acknowledge that hey, she didn't retaliate, that she's making different choices in life. Like, I've seen the change. If Lee, and we know how Lee usually is angry. She used to be like that no person and was always telling Finn, don't let Sheila into your life. She has changed her tune and her thought process about Sheila. There's got to be some sort of wiggle room to where Finn is able to at least express himself about his true feelings and let the chips fall where they may. If that doesn't work for Steffi, she has every right to leave and every right to go the direction that she wants to. And same with Finn. She's not the only woman in the world. But he shouldn't have to bottle down his feelings just for Steffi. There's two people in that marriage.
Yeah, I agree. You got anything, Keish?
Um, I mean, I do agree that I don't like Steffi's dialogue and the way that she will say like, you understand that, or you can't like, you can't let her do this, you can't let her do that. I do agree with that. I don't. He's an adult. You shouldn't talk to another adult that way. But I still feel like Finn is also an adult who can say, well, this isn't what I want to do, and he's choosing not to. He's making the choice to not push back anymore. Other than, I mean, he gave that suggestion. He gave it to Steffi, and Steffi didn't like that suggestion either. Of, well, let's give her supervised visits, and Steffi still, that wasn't something that she was willing to do. Um, so this isn't Steffi's fault. This is on Finn, because he's choosing not to push, or he's choosing to stay with his wife, knowing that at this moment and for the foreseeable future, she's not going to budge where Sheila is concerned. So this is on him.
You think it's all on him?
Yes, because he is not being forced to stay married. He's not being forced to stay in that house with Steffi. He is choosing to stay there. He's choosing to. He has feet. He can get up and walk out if he wants to do that. If he feels like the relationship with Sheila is more important, and he's not doing that. She's
I
not forcing him to stay there. She's just telling him what she's willing to deal with, and Sheila is not. Sheila is a non-negotiable for her, and
okay.
him knowing that Sheila is a non-negotiable for her,
Mhm.
the ball is basically in his court to decide whether he wants to stay in that marriage or leave that marriage because he wants a relationship with his biological mother.
So let me ask you this: do you think that she should even? Because I know, like you said, she's hard pressed. It's a non-negotiable, right?
Mm-hmm.
Um, should she still give her husband the space to at least have a conversation before walking out the door? Or not just a conversation, but to really allow him to think and feel for himself, to express what's going on inside of him with her before he, because I'm trying to bridge.
Yeah,
Okay.
that part I agree with. I do
Okay.
agree with you guys on that. I don't like how she cuts him off, or
Okay.
how she says you have to cut her off, or you have to do that, or Sheila can't be a part of our lives. You understand that, don't you? Like, I don't like the dialogue um
Hmm.
that they give her in this situation with Sheila.
So I guess
I do agree
basically,
with you guys on that.
so
But
basically, what you're saying then is that knowing where she stands and where her head is, he need to make a decision to either stay or go.
right. And from what we've heard from him so far is, my wife is my priority, and she's always going to be his priority no matter what.
Gotcha.
And that's a choice that he's making.
Okay.
I saw something online. It was actually before we went on, And like, if the shoe was on the other foot, if the roles were reversed, and this was Finn not listening to Steffi, not letting her voice her feelings, he'll be viewed as controlling and possessive and abusive,
Those words, yeah.
exactly.
Mm-hmm.
So I think this is where they're, what's the term I'm looking for? There's more grace because it's Steffi. And if the roles were reversed, Finn would be looked at as the villain of the show, not letting her have her say. There's a double standard.
I think it would depend on the situation, in my opinion, because this isn't a situation where Steffi is just, she doesn't like a friend, somebody that Finn is friends with. This is a situation where Finn is trying to convince her to allow her attempted murder to be a part of his life and a part of her son's life. And if roles were reversed and this was Steffi trying to convince Finn of something like this, I would be on Finn's side because there's a valid, legit reason why she does not want it. Or if it was him, it would be a valid, legit reason why he didn't want it. It's not just a typical, I don't like this person. This is somebody who has harmed her and her family for decades.
I agree with that part, but it's just more so being able to voice yourself. If somebody was, your spouse was shutting you down, dictating pretty much who's in and out of your life, not letting you have a voice, and you're resenting that person, if there was a man telling that to his wife, he would be viewed a completely different way than Steffi is being viewed right now. I mean, they're already saying that Steffi has been controlling, but it would be far more harsher if this was Finn and Steffi wasn't able to fully voice herself or feel like she has a voice in her marriage.
I guess I don't see it that way because of there's context to it. This isn't a wife telling her husband, you can't be friends with her, and her. Like, there's a specific context to this situation. And even if it was vice versa, there's still context to it.
At this point, is there anybody that's on Steffi's side? Because it seems like everybody around her is saying that Sheila has changed. Her own mama is saying it. Lee is saying it. All the people who used to be victims of Sheila is saying that. And it's like Steffi is the cheese that stands alone. And that's why I'm wondering, with whatever happens in Monaco, is that going to change Steffi's mind going forward?
I think Bridge is probably on her side still. But I mean, clearly they're making Steffi the irrational one in this situation, despite the fact that the person she's against is somebody who has tremendously hurt her family, despite the fact that the person that she doesn't want in their life has gone back to basically harassing her and Finn about having a place in their life, begging for even Hayes to be a part of her life, who she's never had a relationship with, by the way. And now she's about to follow them to Monaco. If that behavior right there isn't some form of you're still unstable, I don't know what is. Like, to me, yes, she hasn't tried to murder anybody since she did what she did to Finn and Steffi and Lee. But she's still displaying the same toxic behaviors that she has always had, which is being obsessive, and she's getting ready to follow them out of the country to try to convince them or Steffi to allow her to be a part of their lives. And, like, that's not normal. So yeah, you can try to tell me that you changed all you want to, but if you were truly someone who had changed behavior, she wouldn't have even brought this up in the first place. A normal person would accept no means no and move on. And it's not like she has grown up with Finn and raised Finn. She met Finn 5 years ago and only came into this man's life because of who he was marrying. So it wasn't like she came into Finn's life because she just the need to know her son, who's been of age for 18 years before she finally met him. So and she's got four other kids. She's talking about how lonely she is and she has nobody. Why is it that you are laser focused only on Finn and Hayes when you've got four other children out there and I don't know how many other grandchildren?
There ain't no telling. Um, I wanted to point something out. Medora said even Hope wouldn't allow Sheila around her kids. That's because Sheila doesn't serve Hope any purpose for her narrative anymore. She's not worried about Finn. When she was worried about Finn and wanted to pursue Finn, she was at the funeral. She was Sheila's maid of honor. She had no problem cheerleading her daddy with Sheila when it served her purpose. Mm-hmm. And that is why I didn't like the fact that she just flip flop like that, because you were perfectly fine with Sheila and your dad for years. And my thing
the year before she didn't like it, remember? The year before she was pissed. And then the next year was when she went into well, everybody deserves a second chance and people can change, when she was starting her little fantasies about Finn.
Mm-hmm. And then she kept quiet about it. She was perfectly fine with going to the scene. And that's the other part, too. Everyone was going back and forth to that restaurant. Knowing Sheila was there, that is her turf, that is her husband's restaurant. People had, like, if you're in fear for your life, why would I continue to go to where that person works at? Like, there's this is what, once again, the character development needs to improve with everybody on the show. And if they have turned a corner with the Sheila character, because she hasn't done much of anything in the past almost 5 years, I think. I may have that wrong. But if they have turned a corner, then I need for the other characters to at least get on board so the storyline makes sense. Because Steffi being in Sheila's face one minute and saying that, oh my God, I'm scared for my life, the next minute, shouldn't you be making moves to try to make something happen? Versus saying like, oh, she can't be a part of our lives. Well, guess what? She's going to keep popping up until something gets done. Like either you get a restraining order or something. Make that make sense. But I think
because they don't care about it until they want to bring something like this back around. They ignore it until they want to bring the Finn, Steffi, Sheila dynamic back up, and then it becomes an issue again.
Yeah, and that's Brad Bill's issue right there.
The way I see it, Sheila didn't do any jail time for anything that she's done, so her punishment is she can't be a part of her son and her grandson's lives.
But if she was divorcing Finn, Steffi wouldn't really have much of a say in that, because she can't say that he was a horrible father. No one can say that. He's also take the stepdaddy role too, more than Liam's been in his daughter's life. So what can she do from that point? She can't dictate who's in his life after then.
I also don't think Finn would fight her on that. I think he would actually respect that, because Hayes is a child.
Yeah, I guess I'm just curious.
And that's the other part of that's the other thing with Sheila is first it was Finn, and now she's moved on to Hayes, and it's like nothing will ever be enough for her. So they give her this visitation, and then it turns into, well, can he just stay overnight, or can I take him to the park for an hour, just me and him? Can't he spend the night? It will never be enough for her. It will always be something. And if you think that I would let someone who tried to unalive me and other people in my family be alone with my child, you would be out of your mind.
Yep, Well, I'm curious to find out what happened in Monaco as we head later into this week to see
Mm-hmm.
what the big deal is and what's going to go down. We know that Sheila is headed out there as well. Finn is headed out there. I don't know. There was a weird spoiler about Finn running into unexpected turbulence. I don't know if that's literally or he running into Sheila being on the plane. I don't know. They have their riddled ways of their spoilers. So who
I
knows
think
what?
he's gonna end up seeing Sheila.
Yeah, that's what I think too. All right, I think
Yeah.
we covered everything. Yeah, we talked about everything. I think. I mean that.
Ooh.
Yeah. All right, we got to go to BTG, and I got a question on that one. Oh, wrong one, right there. Okay. So look like they're trying to close up this storyline that's been going on for almost a year with this Haley situation. We've been dealing with this all last week and look like the beginning of this week too.
It can't happen fast enough.
Okay.
Right. I mean, she's been slow poisoning him since what you say October, Bree, September.
Yes.
Yeah, and we're coming in 2 months. It'll be October again. So it's like, where are we going with this? Is she going to jail? It looked like it could open up stuff with Randy because we found out today he had a kid somewhere. So I
No,
don't
we've
know.
been on that.
Well,
That he was divorced with a kid. I did not know that.
yeah, I didn't know that
Re-
either.
Remember that storyline, the Kenny storyline, when he was supposed to unalive him and he didn't do it, and he came back to town and was pleading with Joey and said something. He mentioned something about his wife and his kid to try to, I guess, save himself.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, and that's the part too. I'm like, okay, so where is this ex-wife at? How old is your kid?
Yeah.
Like, it opens up a lot, and the way it's looking, it don't look too good for Randy.
Mm-mm.
It really doesn't, especially the stuff with Mona. Like, I want to save him from himself. Like, today's episode pretty much centered around him.
Pretty much. All I do know is that with last week, this girl want this man gone real quick, and she's been trying to up the ante with this poison. He's been having, meaning Bill Hamilton has been having symptoms with the handshakes, the tremors, and all of that. And his girls want him to go to the doctor, but Haley obviously has a different mission, which ended up kicking them out the house, which pretty much started a domino effect because they tell uh, Kat, and then the mama get involved, and Vanessa now knows about it, and then we got Bill talking to Joey, and then the whole conversation with Mona. We got Kat overhearing that, so her actions is really she thinks she's moving smart, which is what Leslie tried to tell her. Like, girl, please, I could see right through you. So I mean, she's so impatient at this point where she's getting sloppy and it's causing a reaction because people are now starting to pay attention.
Yeah, I'm the
She's
waiting for
always been
something to
sloppy with
happen.
the. Oh, sorry.
I know you're correct. She's been sloppy, slow. I'm like, what is going on?
Her even sitting out in public somewhere with Randy is sloppy in itself.
Yep.
And she was always at the bar talking to Randy.
Yep. I agree. Yep. And I mean, at this point, we need this storyline to move forward. What we gonna do? Um, But yeah, they're definitely starting snooping skills, and I feel sorry for Kat because Kat is right on point, and everybody is like, "Well, no, you're a stupid crime podcast," blah blah blah, and I'm like,
Mm-hmm.
y'all need to pay attention.
Chelsea and Naomi being condescending as always towards Cat.
Mm-hmm. Y'all need to be paying attention to that girl, cause she making sense.
Yeah, they just hate who it is. It's making sense. If this was somebody else,
Mm-hmm.
let's say if it was Ashley. Oh, Ashley, you might be right. Yeah. If this was
Mm-hmm.
anybody else, Nicole, Anita, who would put this together, it would be received completely different. But
Yeah.
even in the discussion, they were talking about Eva today, weren't they? And like, oh, I wish, like, why is Kat so obsessive or something?
Oh
She said,
yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah, I
that's
did
true.
see. I saw today's episode of Beyond the Gates, and she did. They were talking about Kat's obsession with Eva, with her Eva hatred, basically. And it's like the two of y'all have some nerve, considering the way you still hate Haley.
I mean, you
Mm-hmm.
guys are doing an investigation on Haley because you hate her that much and you want her out of your daddy's life.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
So you ran to your mother because Haley hurt your feelings and you know how your mother is. I mean, and you knew the domino effect that was going to happen with that, but I mean, Danny was going to do that regardless because she can't help but see Bill,
Yeah.
but but still, you did this because you hate Haley, which is warranted. So why is it
Right.
Kat's feelings about Eva not warranted? Why does that have an expiration date?
Right.
When yours don't.
Yep. So I hope they. I'm curious to see how they're gonna wrap this whole thing up. It's taken up most of last week and look like I said, the beginning of this week, and everybody is starting to notice and question everything. So, yep, yep. Yeah, and like Medora said, Cat will solve the mystery.
She sure will.
She most
Yeah.
definitely will.
Will she get justice? Is the question.
Yeah, that's a,
Because
see, and
Lord
here's the
didn't get
thing.
justice yet.
My thing is with the Haley character, if what are you gonna do? I mean, is she? I mean, obviously they write 6 months in advance, right?
Mm-hmm.
Is
Mm-hmm.
she being written off, or because you basically writing her to a corner at this point, unless she skip town and disappear. But then that still means that the actress or the character is not on screen. So where
I
is the
think
Haley character going?
that's a
This is
really good question.
why. This is why I said they needed to make Haley just decide to get pregnant, because that would tie her to the screen, tie her to Fairmont Crest.
Mm-hmm.
After this comes out, she literally has no ties to Fairmont Crest.
Right. She's in a corner.
I
Mm,
think she will end up getting pregnant. I think when everything
That could
comes
be
out,
her bailout.
yeah, I think she'll find out that everything that happened, and then she finds out that she's pregnant because she was still sleeping with Bill.
Mm-hmm.
yeah.
That would be
So,
the only thing to bail her out. And then everybody
yeah,
will back off because they'll be like, oh, wow. And then she'll be excited because now she's thinking a different game, unfortunately, with this child.
Yeah.
mm,
And that's where they should have pivoted months ago, to be honest.
When
Her
she.
problem should be
Mm-hmm.
dealing with Randy and Lynette and their anger about not getting the payout that they wanted, because now Haley is pregnant and she's not going to unalive Bill to get, basically the big lump sum payout that they were all hoping for. And her drama could have been dealing with Lynette and Randy blackmailing her, or
Mm-hmm.
trying to figure out how to keep them quiet so they don't blow her cover.
Yep.
which I never understood that agreement between her and Randy anyway, because I'm like, you put everything in motion. You gave her the liquid substance to put in Bill's drink and everything. She could easily pin this on you. she sets everything up. Like, she's slow, but she's not that slow.
Mm-hmm.
Having Randy come to the house, and now that everyone's putting two and two together and they're thinking that that's her lover, she's going to use that and run with it just to make sure her hands are clean. And Randy would not get a dime. So
Yeah.
I'm wondering where that leaves Haley and Randy, because they already filmed like the Christmas episodes. Well, they finished. They're starting or in the middle of season 3. They finished filming the Christmas episode, so they're moving to the episodes leading into January now. So I don't know as far as the actors where they're going, but it
Yeah.
doesn't look like they're going to be on for much longer. I don't know.
I don't know. Yeah, that's going to be interesting. And then Vanessa put Randy on notice. Now, that's going to make him squeamish because she gave out some hints, and of course he's looking like, oh man, she know that we're about to do something to Bill Hamilton. She gonna
Which,
go
why
on.
would Vanessa even go to him and say anything?
Exactly, you saw that part, right, Keish?
Yes.
I'm like, why
Yeah.
did you, these are your friends, and then you turn around and you go run to him? Why?
Yeah, I I don't even know. That was stupid on her part, but Vanessa's never been smart on this show. But I'm like, who are you protecting? Are you protecting Randy, or are you protecting your friend?
Yeah, I don't
Which
know
I would
what
think
she
that
was
she's more
thinking.
loyal to Randy than she is to Bill, because it's really about Bill.
Yeah.
Danny's not with this man, even though she wants to be.
But the way she put it is like Joey is not the only powerful man in this town. Also, Bill Hamilton, and in so many words, you don't want to, I guess, get on his bad side or mess with anything. And then he looking like a deer in headlights because obviously he knows what Haley's up to, thinking that maybe even Vanessa might know what's up. Now I don't know if he's gonna be smart and ask probing questions like, "Well, what are you talking about? What did he say? Did he say something? I mean, whatever." To figure out what Vanessa's talking about. But even at this point, it should put him on red alert to say, yeah, something's going on. I don't know what exactly it is, but he's probably gonna have a conversation with Haley about his interaction with Vanessa.
Yeah, but them walls are closing in. About time.
Yeah, I know, right? I agree. And Mona looked like she want a piece of him, though.
I don't blame her. That's a fine man. Like, as you see his stuff on social media, I'm like, oh my god, he's in fantastic shape. But the show, I
Mm-hmm.
don't blame her. She's creating a build-a-boo, a build-a-man. She's gonna erase what he did. She likes to kind of rough around the edges, sort of appeal to Randy. She's gonna get him reformed and get into where she likes him.
Girl, she up
So
in there trying to gamble for this man's soul.
uh, look,
I couldn't do anything but laugh.
Yeah, I was like, alrighty then. And Joey is like, okay, I entertain you. I'm wondering what he was thinking in that moment. Like, are we really doing this?
like she really needs that D. That's probably what he needs. I mean, will they put these two in a relationship? I still don't see it.
Well,
I
I
don't see
mean,
it
if
either.
he gets caught up into this whole mess with Haley, she gonna get the shock of her life. I mean, she already knows that he's involved with with Joey, with his dealings, but to find out that possibly, because that's got to come out too about what happened with Lynette and what did he do in that situation, um, how he knew about what happened with Doug. He got a lot of dirty secrets he's hiding. And I don't know if Mona want to be tied up into that. I mean, maybe she want one night. I don't know, but
My thing is, this man is what, in his supposed to be in his 40s, maybe.
I think
Yeah.
so.
Uh, if he ain't talking to Mona about wanting to change his life, why is she out here trying to do it for him?
Because, like
Like,
Bree said, she's trying to create.
Build a
Mona,
boo.
Mona need to
Build a
find
man.
something else to do.
But some women do this. They like the man who's like rough around the edges and be like, okay, I can clean him up and turn him into something. She's just one of those women.
And then be mad when they slip back into their old ways. Like, you knew what you was getting into. You can't change a grown man. They gotta want to do it themselves.
Exactly.
Talking about
And
playing for his soul. Girl.
And that's why I'm wondering why he got into this type of line of work. Because like you're friends with the whole cardiologist. Like how did you or heart surgeon? Like how did you get mixed up into this and like you still friends with the doctor? Like you clearly have some sense. I mean,
well, I guess they had been, at least from what it sounded like Randy said, was they grew up together and he went off and bettered his life, but Randy didn't. So Randy kind of stayed in that mode and just that's why he is where he is now, because he didn't do anything to better himself.
Right.
Well,
And he had a wife and a kid. I'm like, where is his wife at?
yeah.
Where is his kid at?
Well, we did get.
That was always a side chick.
Mm-hmm. Well, we did get obviously another character on screen with Mr. Noah. He now has a job over at the free clinic, which I guess he's interested. You know, who he is interested in is Deanna, and she seemed to be pretty interested in him too. I don't know where that's gonna go, except for I guess a cute little relationship. I don't know. But I do have a question. Who was she talking to on that phone? Was it actually Doug or was it her?
Her brother.
Huh?
I think it's her brother.
Oh, okay.
I think initially she was talking to her brother, but then wasn't she just talking to her phone, like talking to her dad when Isaiah walked up to her?
But it like she was trying. She said, "I'm sorry, I almost got caught or something." I was like, "Wait, so are we doing this where this man didn't die?" And I mean, I would love that storyline, because that would put Vanessa on blast, and Joey too.
We wouldn't see, for me, we wouldn't see her like having visions of him and basically talking to herself, thinking of her dad. Like if he was alive, like we would get some sort of notice about that. I think it's got to be somebody who is connected to Vanessa and Doug, and maybe somebody who's like working with Deanna. Because remember, Joey got that letter. It was typed up. It wasn't a handwritten letter. So there's copies out there.
Mm-hmm.
Doug could have sent the copy to somebody. And that's probably why Deanna is going hard to try to nail Joey for what he did.
Mm-hmm.
Something's going to happen, but I'm curious to see, because does Randy know or he doesn't know? That's what I'm not understanding.
Know what?
He knows.
About what happened to
Doug.
Doug? Yeah, I think he knows.
Yeah, he knows. Which is why I don't have any respect for him. That was your boy that you grew up with, and you know this man unalived him, and you still have no problem working for him.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
I wonder who has copies of that letter. I think that would be very telling.
Mm-hmm.
Because I don't think he would just give that copy just to Vanessa, knowing that she was getting close to Joey.
Yeah.
Which is why Joey was smart in saying, like, hey, go check the safety deposit box. Go check this, that, and the third. Mm-hmm. But he doesn't know who all Doug knows.
Right. That's true.
Because Doug tried to reach out to Randy, but Randy had his loyalty to Joey.
Mm-hmm.
So there got to be like a second option that Doug had reached out to.
Right. I agree. Um, yeah, so we'll see what happens with that. We had Danny walking in on Nicole and Kyle, Anita throwing that party, and Leslie lashing out at Vanessa too.
They had nothing better else for Leslie to do. um, I mean, I need for Leslie to have a direction on the show, or at least give us a break from Leslie. Because, like, why is she going off for?
Mm-hmm.
Like, we need a break from this woman. Love the actress, but until they pick a direction for her, otherwise she's just going to keep terrorizing people like she was trying to do with Nicole about what's going on in her life. And Nicole was right. She's obsessed.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Because
And
she didn't get the life that she wanted.
right, and then she was also pissed when she found out that Ted and Shanice said that they love each other, and she went over there going off on Ted, and Ted had pretty much to tell her like,
Mm-hmm.
you know, and she's like, "Don't patronize me, girl." Yeah, you've been sit. That's what she said. Told Ted, "Don't patronize her." Go ahead, Keish. I think that was.
And this was another moment where they tried to have Leslie have some type of um I'm a strong woman, don't come running to me when you guys break up, you because I won't be here, blah. And it's like, th- she's not the character to give those lines to, because she was Ted's side chick.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Trying to paint her as this broken-hearted, scorned woman who was done wrong 20 years ago does not work with her, because she willingly put herself in a relationship with a married man. It
Mm-hmm.
wasn't like Ted lied to her and she had no clue Ted had a wife and a family. She had all the knowledge, and she was still willing to be in that relationship with him, that affair with him. So I can't stand when they try to give her these moments of talking about how heartbroken she was, and talking about her and Ted like they were, each other's soulmates and true love, and all this kind of stuff. And it's like, you're the only person that see it that way. So giving her these speeches about um, how she deserves better, and don't come running to me when she breaks your heart, or when it doesn't work out, because I won't be here for you. It's like, I don't think he was ever asking you to be there for him. He got over you the minute he went back to his wife. You were the one stuck in the past. So
Why
Yeah.
would
I
he run to
just,
you?
yeah. So I hate when they try to paint her as this, brokenhearted woman who was just done wrong, and wasn't given a chance to be with the love of her life. Like, girl, he left you and told you to get rid of the child that you guys created. She's romanticizing what they had, and it wasn't like that with him, or
Right.
for him.
And
Mm-hmm.
that's what he get for trying to have a friendship with this girl. Because
Mm-hmm.
all they did was just give her an inch. She's taking a mile.
Yep.
And
Yeah.
on top of that, she's talking about, like, I deserve better. But meanwhile, you're still a side chick to somebody else
Yes.
currently.
Yep.
Currently in a relationship with a married man. Like,
Like, you learned nothing. This is your default in life. You left the
exactly.
side.
And he
Yep.
had the nerve to tell Vanessa, um, what did she say? I've had it worse than Nicole.
You put yourself in that position. like
Right.
like your daughter could have been raised, like, you could have been, if you were so strong about, like, the feelings that you have for Ted, and you had all this confidence in the world about your relationship with Ted, you could have said something years ago. You took the money and ran, got with a whole other man. That man raised your daughter with you, and then he passed. And then you decided to circulate and go back after Ted, after the money ran dry. Because I remember those exact scenes. Her husband passed. She was tapped out of money. She's like, oh, let me go back and try to get Ted now. So you were the least bit concerned. Your daughter could have been raised just like Ted kept saying. She could have been raised like the other kids.
Mm-hmm.
So she could miss you with that.
Yeah.
He
That
just did
was
not want you.
the other thing that she said to Vanessa when she walked. That scene irked me so bad. But the other thing she said to Vanessa when she walked over to her was something like, "You shouldn't take pleasure in another woman's pain" or something like that. And it's like that's literally your number one goal since you came to town was to inflict some type of pain on Nicole.
In present day.
Yes.
Like, why are you so concerned with her single life? She's not even with Ted anymore. They broke up almost a
Yes.
year ago. They had it. They broke up. They had the anniversary because a year has passed.
Yeah.
So you're still obsessed and bothering Nicole as if she's still the main woman, but yet this man still don't want you.
And
Yep.
just all the nerve and audacity and delusions is just it's too much with her.
Yeah.
Yeah. I agree. Trying to think what else was there. Because most of this week and part of today was about Haley. What else was there? Did we miss
Yeah.
anything else? We talked
Oh,
about a lot, huh?
the uh the conversation between Danny, Vanessa, and Anita gossiping about whether or not Haley is cheating on Bill.
Oh, yeah, and they brought up
And I'm like,
Kyle.
yeah. And I'm like, why do y'all care?
See.
After what Bill did to Danny, if that was the case, if that's what you guys think it might be, y'all should be sitting at that table. The only thing you should be saying is, this is what he gets. This is karma. This is payback. But they were really sitting up at that table like they were concerned about Bill being cheated on.
Right. Especially
Like, are you
Danny.
kidding me?
I can see Anita and Vanessa just looking for the gossip. That's normal. I get that. But why is Danny once again invested after she said, I don't want anything to do with Bill, and whatever happens is on him. I'm focused on Andre. See how long that lasted.
Mm-hmm.
She
I
can't
can't
help herself.
even Anita though. Like knowing what that man did to your daughter. If I heard the news of someone who treated my sister or my child, if I was old enough to have a child like that, the way that he did, and heard that he was being cheated on or possibly being cheated on, I would be celebrating. All that pain you put my child through for decades, and now you're getting some payback. You're getting some karma. But they really sat there like they were somewhat concerned
Mm-hmm.
or worried or I don't know. I don't understand them people when it comes to that.
Yeah.
Like,
All
But I
right.
could see if the kids were like young and Haley was in the house with them and then, mistreating them. But like the girls are grown. I mean, Danny has no reason to be concerned with anything that direction in the first place, but she
Mm-hmm.
can't help herself.
Nope. I gotcha. All right. Now that we cover everything with them.
Yeah, that's pretty much it.
Yeah, it wasn't a lot. Normally, we usually have so many moving parts on Beyond the Gates, but a lot of, like I said, part of last weekend today was all about the countdown to the walls closing on Haley.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so let's get into our final segments. I flipped the script. Who's taking several seats? Star of the week, pickle of the week, Simple Olympics, and the Audacity Award. So for Y and R, what you flipping?
I would have flipped. Nikki begging to go back to Victor. Like, she could have made that man work for it at the very least.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, have some sort of dignity.
Gotcha. I guess my flip would have been that whole conversation with Victoria. And I mean, Kyle tried, but I think he needed to dig in a little deeper and show her the reality a little bit. But I guess if she don't want to see it, she don't want to see it. But yeah, that whole thing, she was full of it.
Mm-hmm.
Full of it. All right, Keish, did you have anything or you want us to keep on moving? Did she step away? Oh, okay. Maybe she. All right, what you flipping?
Oh, I was on mute.
Oh, okay.
Keep on pushing. I didn't realize my phone was muted.
Oh, okay. No worries. All right, what about on bold?
Boy, I
I,
wish Will had locked his door
I,
and let
I
her
mean,
just sit
he tried
outside.
to call her out, but I mean, when she came up in there demanding that what he should and shouldn't have done and all this so kind of mess, he should have turned around and put her right back out the door. You don't have those type of rights here. You say you were done. We're over. So you don't get to dictate my life whether it's with Dylan or not.
Mm-hmm.
Be done all that whining and crying and oh please I want us to let's get back to we. There is no we. That necklace is in the
Wait, he said that?
yeah, he said that
Yes.
today. That necklace is in the recycle bin, man.
Okay.
All right, go ahead, Bree.
Anyway.
What you got? Oh, you already did yours, right?
Yeah.
What you got, Keish?
Um, I would have had Dylan just finally decide that she was done with her friendship with Electra.
Mm-hmm.
There's no need for her to continue being friends with her.
I agree with that. I agree. All right, what you flipping on BTG? I know me. I wish Vanessa hadn't had that conversation with Randy. It made no sense.
I would have loved for Chelsea and Naomi to at least hear Kat out instead of going straight to the negative because it's her.
Right, right. And it's because it's a I'm finna say a soap podcast, a crime podcast.
Um, I I would have had when Kat and Chelsea. When that was last week when Kat and Chelsea were arguing, right?
Mm-hmm.
I would have had Kat point out how when it comes to Haley, they're allowed to feel how they feel about her. They're allowed to still express their disdain for her without judgment.
Mm-hmm.
But when it comes to her, they don't allow her to do the same
With Eva.
with Eva.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I need somebody to point that out to Kat, and especially not Kat, to Chelsea especially.
Yeah, I agree. You know, and they don't see Cat forcing them to just get along with Haley.
Exactly. And if she was, if they saw Kat out of Orphy Jeans sitting in a booth with Haley, kikiing or whatever, they would have a problem with it.
Mm-hmm.
And not that we've seen, Chelsea and Naomi do that, but there have been times where Naomi has, sat and talked with Eva about something and, kind of chuckle with her, or, about a couple of things. And we saw what Chelsea did with when she was doing the live, and she clearly doesn't have an issue with befriending Eva.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like they would have a fit if Kat was doing that with Haley.
I agree. That's a good one. All right, who's taking seats on Y&R? Victoria.
Victoria.
Yep.
Victoria can take all the seats. Nikki can take a seat. Victor can take a seat.
Mm-hmm.
And that should be it for me. Billy.
Oh,
Need
that
all the
well,
seats.
I'm gonna say him a seat for next week since that's tomorrow's episode. But
Okay.
yeah, I know what you mean by that, Bree. Oh my goodness. Um, who's taking seats on bold?
Electra for sure.
Oh God, yes.
All the kids, actually.
Yeah, I
Will,
guess you're
Dylan,
right.
and RJ.
Yeah,
I'll agree with you there.
cause we didn't get a lot of the adults this week. It was just them, right?
Yeah.
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 Okay. All right.
So
Who's
all the
taking? Yeah,
kids.
I agree with you on that too. Especially Electra. That girl. Ooh, Lord. Um.
Hmm.
BTG seats.
Chelsea and Naomi can both take seats,
Okay.
and Leslie and Vanessa and Danny. Okay, I'm done.
Dang.
I agree with all that.
Yeah, I agree with that too. I was trying to think of somebody in particular. I mean, but yeah, I can agree with all of that. All right, star of the week, Y&R. I'm gonna give it the melody, I guess.
I'm gonna give it to Roger because that scene he had with Sienna was actually really good.
Yeah. Okay. All right, star bold. Man, y'all
Mm,
quiet. Don't nobody. Everybody don't speak all at once.
I'll give it to Sydney Bullock, who plays Dylan,
Oh,
because that
okay.
switch up was nice.
Okay. I'm gonna give it to Lee. We ain't seen her in a while. It was nice to have her back, and I liked the conversation that she had with Finn.
And she had other facial expressions. I was surprised.
Hmm. She definitely made a 180 when it come to Sheila.
Hmm.
I meant to talk about the, the way that their friendship is something else. Just holding each other's hands and
I
pulling
know,
each other
right?
in. I'm like, is J Money right? Is Ron Julian right?
Oh my goodness.
Because Ron Julian said the same thing that they might be a couple.
Wow.
It was looking like that. I was like, wait a minute.
Mm-mm. Okay. Star BTG.
Um, I'm gonna give this to Carla Mosley.
Okay.
That was a great scene with her and Bill.
Yeah, she was mad.
Mm-hmm.
Left her glasses over there. Haley broke them. What, you got anything, Keish?
Um, I don't know. I'll just agree with Bree. I can't really
Okay.
think of a star
Okay. Wow.
stand out.
All right. Pickle Young.
Daniel.
Oh, God. Tell me about it. Yep, I can agree with that one. Because that guy, he just don't want to be happy when it comes to his mom. At least you ain't got to be over the top happy. Just be like, oh well, okay, just come to peace with this whole thing. But
Yeah.
nope, he want to stay mad. So whatever. All right, pickle bold, Electra.
And Will.
Yeah, cause oof, girl.
Yeah, I don't feel sorry for this boy at all.
Mm. What you got, Keish?
Mm, I don't know if I've have I given a pickle to the revival of the Sheila versus
No.
Steffi storyline. Well, that's getting a pickle.
Okay. She does not like that storyline. Um.
No.
Remember when we was talking about redundancy?
Yep.
That's what this is.
Gotcha. Yep. All right, and then pickle BTG.
That's Haley.
I'm
I'm
a
gonna give it to Danny Busybody Self. because there wasn't no need for her to get involved in any of this.
Mm-mm. Yeah, I can agree with both of y'all. All right, then we got our Simple Olympics. You got your
I had to
order
really,
together, Bree?
I had to really think about this. I don't even feel confident in it, but I'm gonna say it. So bronze is gonna go to Nikki for crawling back to Victor after everything, because he was still trying to kick her out even after her medical condition. Like, girl.
Mm-hmm.
Silver is gonna go to Danny on BTG. Because like Keith said, like, why are you involved in this? It got
Mm-hmm.
nothing to do with you or your husband. Remember him? Um, Gold is gonna go to Finn because he got to man up at some point. But Platinum, Cosmic, it, Simp of the Year is gonna go to Will.
Oh my God. Yeah, he's at the top of that list.
Like, he's been on this list for several weeks in different positions, but several weeks nonetheless. He must really want that position. He's doing far worse than Michael, and that's a lot.
That's saying a lot, girl. Yeah, I gotta give him platinum. I'll give Finn gold. Silver will go to Phyllis.
Oh, that's a good one. Forgot
um,
about
Yes.
that.
the way, yeah, woo, Lord, the way she's drooling over Matt and freaking out and wanna take out Victor. Okay, whatever, girl. That's gold. No, that's silver. And then bronze, I would probably. I'm trying to think. I could throw Danny that one. So
All right.
audacity, unless you got something, Keish. I know Keish don't really like that category. So
Yeah, I don't have anything to add to that one.
okay. And then the audacity award, that Electric get that one. Just like
She has a platinum. What is higher than platinum? Titanium. I
diamond.
don't
I
know.
don't know.
Titanium.
The-
Yeah,
what?
actually, that's perfect because the wee necklace that she made was titanium. Remember?
Mm-hmm.
Oh
So
yeah.
she gets the titanium audacity award. She has earned that. She
Good
gonna be
Mm-hmm.
grief.
audacity queen of the year.
Yeah. There's nobody beating her right now.
Mm-mm.
she
Nobody.
she gave Hope a break. She gave Leslie a break. Victoria a break.
Right.
Lily a break. All of them.
Yeah, that award was originally named after Lily.
Yep.
Oh,
She's like, look, I'm gonna win something this year.
mm-hmm.
She got it. She earned it. Good for her.
All right. Well, we got it done, and we did it in 2 hours and 47 minutes.
That's
All right.
awesome. I don't know why it felt longer, but hey, I
Yeah,
like
it's just
that.
making 10 o'clock my time. 2 minutes too. And it's 2 to 11 where you guys are. So usually we are be. Usually we be probably up until almost midnight y'all time.
So we
Yeah.
saved an hour.
Yep. I get a lot of that is because I think with BTG it's one storyline and a few fillers. Bold is pretty straightforward. It's either the kids or Sheila. And
Yeah.
then we had a lot of Young and the Restless. It was some moving pieces there, but yep. Oh, Jenna said Electra get the Narcissist Award.
She collecting all the seats, all the awards, all the audacity, everything.
Yeah, that
That girl had lost her
it's
mind.
cringy to watch. It's just so crazy to be
Yeah.
like, and then for Will to be like, I know, I'm sorry, I wanted us to be, I love you. I'm like, oh God.
Yeah.
So,
Still begging after the fact. That is insane. But
yep. So, All right, we'll let you guys go. Have an amazing night. Stay tuned for more standalone videos this week from the soaps. I'm thinking about incorporating some of the Y&R subjects, but I need to make sure you guys are interested. Y'all eat up the bold stuff that I put out there, so you know, I'm glad y'all enjoy that. So I appreciate it. Smash that like button on the way out. Make sure you subscribe to the channel. And until next time, we will see you guys later. Bye, Soapies.
Bye.
Night, guys.